conquering America. Starting as a boxing champion, this video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 151 Drunk. After a day of filming, Link trained for more than 2 hours in the evening in the boxing ring, rented by the crew, and returned to the hotel at 7:30. After taking a shower, Link called Taylor to chat for a while, and lay on the sofa to read Billboard magazine. More than 2 months after the first song The Fighter was released, the 7 songs on the list were squeezed off the list. Among these 7 songs, there is a champion single, and 3 songs have made it into the top 10. However, the song that lasted on the list is Never Say Never. This song was written lightly and stayed on the singles Hot 100 chart for 8 weeks. At present, the total sales of the first album in the United States are 1.957 million copies, just a little short of double platinum. Overseas sales are 2.74 million copies. Global album sales have reached more than 4.7 million copies. Billboard magazine called him the best new singer in 2009, and he is expected to lock in the Grammy Award for Best New Artist in advance. The single Give Me, released by him half a month ago, has officially exceeded 2 million downloads on Amazon Digital Music Store and iTunes Music Store, and has been listened to more than 130 million times on American radio stations, becoming one of the most popular songs in the United States in March. At the same time, this song was also selected as the theme song of Transformers 2, and the copyright fee is as high as 1.5 million. Knock, knock. There was a knock on the door outside. Link got up and opened the door. Standing outside was Amy Adams, wearing a white suspender and vertical striped shorts. She found the white suspenders, washed her long curly hair, and draped it on her shoulders, wearing shower gel and holding a bottle of Scotch whiskey in both hands. Link, do you want a drink? Amy Adams shook the bottle in her hand and smiled. It sounds good. Link smiled lightly and invited the other party in. Before the shooting started, he and Amy Adams had talked several times. Because they were both descendants of immigrants, they had many common topics to talk about. They were familiar friends, and Link also invited her to Italy. Magazine? Amy asked, looking at the magazines on the sofa. Yes, I have a lot of part-time jobs, such as boxing, music and movies. I need to learn more about the dynamics of the industry, and reading magazines saves time. Link took 2 glasses from the counter. Amy sat cross-legged on the sofa, took the glass, and said while pouring the wine, "You have indeed crossed many industries, but what is commendable is that you are very good in each industry. You are the world champion in boxing, and your albums as a singer have sold millions of copies. It's amazing." Link thanked her with a smile, took a glass of golden whiskey, smelled the aroma of the wine and said, "Amy, I have a poor alcohol tolerance. I usually only drink light beer. I can only drink this glass of whiskey with you. A world champion, can't you drink?" Amy Adams blinked in surprise. "Yes, 1 glass of this kind of wine at most. It doesn't matter, cheers." Amy held the glass, clinked it with his, raised her head, and drank it all, and stuck out her tongue at him after drinking. In Link's drawer, he drank half a cup, about 100 grams, with a strong burnt atmosphere and immediate mellowness. He was not good at drinking before, and after practicing boxing, he drank less and less. He usually only drank a little light beer and wine, and he was not very interested in alcohol. "How do you feel?" Amy Adams smiled. "Not bad, but a little bit drunk." Amy Adams looked at her face turning red and couldn't help laughing. "Link, you are so strong that you can actually walk. No one would dare to believe it if you tell others. Everyone has shortcomings, and alcohol is one of my shortcomings." Link shrugged. Amy Adams smiled slightly and poured another glass. "How about another drink?" Link reluctantly took another sip and felt a little dizzy, and Amy Adams drank a glass directly, and the wine flowed from her chin to her chest, showing the shape of not wearing a bra. Her figure looks very slim and looks very girly, but she has a sense of a young woman with flesh on her body. "Is this break time?" Amy Adams immediately rolled her eyes at him and took the points from his hand. "Link, last time you said on the show that you made women faint. Is that true or not?" This topic was a bit explicit, especially between the two of them. Link smiled and said, Amy, is it appropriate for us to talk about this in private? We are all friends, just chatting casually. Tell me, is it true? Amy kicked him with her calf. Okay, it's true. Link shrugged. Amy looked down at him, bit her lower lip and asked, I'm curious, can I experience it? What? Link was a little surprised by her directness. Amy blushed and sat on his lap and hugged his neck. There was suddenly a warm touch in his arms, and his nose was full of shower gel and the body fragrance of women. After drinking, his mind was already a little dizzy, and now it was even more chaotic, with reason and suggestion competing in his brain. When Amy kissed him, the faint smell of wine and the wet touch aroused the desire and beast instinct deep in his heart, which exploded with a bang. What happened next was a very hard dream. Zishnayan mine, the mine where he used to work. In the Zishnayan mine area, there is a hill over 300 meters high, grey, and barren. Below the hill is the mine where Link worked for 3 years. In the dream, he returned to the mine, and he was still a small miner. Every day, he pushed the dump truck and kept moving ore out. He transported one cart after another. The cart full of ore was very heavy, weighing 400 or 500 kilograms, and it was even heavier when going uphill to the cave entrance. Every time, he had to grit his teeth, muster his whole body, and push forward with all his strength to push the dump truck out of the trees at the cave entrance. He pushed one cart after another, and every time he pushed a cart, he would sweat profusely. But he still gritted his teeth and persisted. In order to make more money, he would always be the most hard-working miner in the mine. Twice, 100 times, 200 times, or 1,000 times, 2,000 times. His arms and the things that were taken away began to tremble. He could only hold down the dump truck with his hands and continue to run forward. This is a private mine. Every extra trip will earn the mining team more money every day, and he can also get more. This is why he chose to keep running. 3,000 times, 4,000 times, 5,000 times. He walked so many times, his whole body was shaking, and he was exhausted. Finally, he collapsed in the mine. When he woke up the next day and opened his eyes, it was already 7:30 in the morning, not 6 o'clock as he woke up on time every day. He rubbed his forehead and smelled the instrument in his hand. He couldn't help but think of some things that happened last night. He called Amy, but no one responded, and there was no one in the quilt. If there were no strands of golden hair on the quilt, and there were more wrinkles and opaque liquid on the sheets, he really thought that what happened last night was an absurd dream. How are you? Link sent a message. He didn't get up for a morning run. He was busy in his dream last night, but because of his special body, he woke up from a sleep and all functions returned to normal. He felt refreshed, and his physical strength seemed to be a little stronger than yesterday. He ran 20 kilometers and did 10 sets of push-ups, 10 sets of rope skipping, and 10 sets of pull-ups in the gym. He came to the crew at 10 o'clock and unexpectedly heard that Amy Adams had asked for leave. She slipped and fell in the bathroom last night, hurt her hip and knee, and needed to rest for 3 days. Link sent another message, asking her how she was in the hospital. Amy Adams still didn't reply. The heroine didn't come, and the crew made a temporary adjustment to shooters and Christian Bale's scenes first. He and Bale are the male lead and the second male lead, and they have the most scenes in the crew. And Amy Adams, who didn't know that she had 3 days off, didn't show up until the 7th day. I don't know if she was scared, but when she saw it, Amy was obviously a little panicked and didn't dare to look at him. When the other party was filming the opposite scene, director Russell then called NG more than 10 times, and Amy gradually recovered and used professional acting skills to overcome distracting thoughts. It was just that in the crew, unless it was necessary, Amy's styling was considered separately from his, and the look in her eyes when she looked at him was also shy and panic. Link tried to find an opportunity to apologize to the other party many times, but there was no chance. Hearing that the other party had a boyfriend and he also had a girlfriend, in order to avoid being misunderstood, he did not get too entangled. It was not until he finished filming and was about to leave the crew that Amy came to see him off that he had the opportunity to say sorry to the other party. Don't drink in the future. Amy Adams looked at him, smoothed his waist and said softly, yes. Link smiled softly, waved goodbye to the crew. Thank you Sademo Yan for being the leader. Seeing that there is an additional leader on the fan rankings, like Link, I also feel like I'm dreaming. I have written more books, and I look up to the leader and feel grateful. Plan, plus 10 more, but I'm a clumsy person, so the additional updates will probably be slower. Please forgive me. Close bracket. Chapter 152 Boxing Match. Link, what are you looking at? Simon Curtis was driving on the road outside Kennedy International Airport in New York. Link looked out the window at the drizzle that soaked the road. Here we are. I saw the weather. It was sunny in New York before, but it started to rain as soon as I got off the plane. I feel like the weather in New York is against me. Haha, it's surpassing cloud and rain. I'll feel dizzy in a moment. Is that so? How are the matches arranged? Link asked, leaning on Europe. There are 3 main things to do in this trip to New York. One is to participate in the rehearsal of MJ's concert. The second is to record the second album. And the third is the boxing match. 3 matches are expected, and 2 have been confirmed to be held this year. Here are the data. Take a look. Simon typed out a folder and handed it to him. Link flipped it open to see the scene. The first match was the WBA Boxing Championship Challenge. The opponent was Andre Riel, who was the bronze medalist in the middleweight class at the 2004 Athens Olympics. In March, he defeated Jermaine Taylor in the boxing championship qualifying match and obtained his qualification for the challenge. The infectious disease competition will be held in New York in June. The second opponent is Roy Jones Jr. After defeating Tyson last year, Franco began to contact opponents for him. Invitations to boxing stars such as Roy Jones Jr., Joe Calzaghe, Bernard Hopkins, James Toney, John Roos, and Mayweather were issued. At present, only Roy Jones Jr. and Calzaghe are preparing to retire, and it is not certain whether they will fight him. Hopkins said that he wanted to see the game between him and Roy Jones before making a decision. The others have not responded yet. As for his match with Roy Jones, the issue of the hosting rights and the prize money of the boxing match is currently being discussed, and the time of the match is to be determined. In the third match, he will be arranged to have a boxing champion avoidance conflict with WBO/WBF double champion Andre Ward. During the communication process, the 4 major organizations proposed a plan called Super 6. The champions of various weight organizations compete with each other, forming a round-robin battle of the 4 kings of middleweight in the 1980s. Link heard that there were 12 boxers participating in the Super 6 in this competition, including Mikkel Kessler, Carl French, Arthur Abraham, Jermaine Taylor, Andre Ward, Andre Rell, Lucien Butt, Alan Green, etc. They were all top 3 boxers in the 4 major organizations in the super middleweight class, known as the Battle of Heroes. Finally, after 3 years of competition, Andre Ward won all the gold championships with 6 wins, and also made Andre Ward's ranking in the P4P rankings rise to 2nd place, second only to Mayweather. Now because of Link's appearance, Mikkel and Jermaine reversed under him, and the WBA gold belt was also taken away by him. The other boxing champions were all famous because of him, and the super middleweight field showed a pattern of 1 super and many strong. But the 4 major organizations still propose the concept of Super 6. This obviously does not think he has the strength to dominate the super middleweight. Simon, the round robin match is very troublesome. The competition cycle is too long. You can communicate with the 4 major organizations, or Super 1+5, and let a few boxing champions with gold to challenge me, or carry out the boxing championship fight as originally planned. I plan to obtain all the gold belts of the 4 major organizations within the year. Okay, I will communicate with Franco later. Simon nodded. As expected, the clouds and rain passed. The car arrived at Finland Island from Queens. The sky gradually cleared up. The sun came out from the face in the clouds, with a bright silly smile, and it seemed to be playing hide and seek with Link. After the sun passed, the streets of Seattle became lively again. The tall buildings stood under the clear sky with a strong posture. The pedestrians also held up colorful umbrellas, and walked on the wet but spring-filled streets. After returning to the warehouse, Link first went to Link Music Company in the metropolitan area, to find Mr. Green Goodall. who had the information of more than 10 songs in the segment, and asked him to adjust the soundtrack. Then he could record the second album. Link, aren't these love songs? Mr. Grimm asked again, after flipping through them. No, it's mainly based on life experience. You can take a look at it. If you think it's good, you can put it in the third album, Link said, pointing to several songs marked with red pen. Grimm watched for a while and praised, very good, the level of these songs is very high. Link, I have to say, you are really a creative genius. Link laughed, you are too kind, I'm a newcomer in music, and I still have to learn a lot from you and my peers. Grimm waved his hand and smiled, you are growing very fast. This is your talent, and it has little to do with us. However, the style of these songs is similar to Give Me Reasons, lyrical and alternative rock, and can be released as an album alone. Grimm paused and pondered for a moment. The current song Give Me Reasons is very popular, and the controversy between you and Can I, Lil and others has not completely disappeared, and the heat is still there. My opinion is to release this album, and then release the Love album next year. Love is the eternal theme. Link thought about it, and felt that this arrangement was also possible. Most of the songs he copied were released after 2013, and there would be no problem with a delay of half a year and a half in loading. Okay, here are 2 rap songs. It's a new attempt of mine. I plan to invite Eminem to cooperate. What do you think? Eminem is a famous white rapper. He debuted in 1996 and has released 6 albums with global sales of more than 100 million copies. His representative works include My Name Is, Lose Yourself, and the movie 8 Mile. He has the strongest rapping ability. In the song Rap God, he finished 1,560 words in 6 minutes and 3 seconds, which is equivalent to the Guinness World Record. After listening to his words, Grimm shook his head and said, it's difficult. Eminem has a good relationship with rappers such as Can I, Lil, and 50 Cent, and has jointly released several albums. But your relationship with Can I and others is very bad. He probably won't agree to cooperate with you. Link also understood this, but the song has more spoken parts, and it needs a skilled rapper to cooperate. Apart from Eminem, who is becoming more famous, he can't find a suitable candidate for the time being. Don't just chase Eminem and a few others. There are many American rappers, such as Snoop Dogg and Akon. They are West Coast rappers. East Coast and West Coast rappers are in a competitive relationship and hostile to each other. These 2 rap songs are of good quality. I hope they will be interested. East Coast rappers are mainly New York-Chicago rappers, represented by Jay-Z, 50 Cent, Eminem, Can I, etc. The West Coast rap base is located in Los Angeles-San Francisco, and its representatives include Snoop Dogg, Tupac, etc. In the 1980s and 1990s, East Coast rappers briefly joined forces to set off a rap music trend worldwide and promote rap music to the world. Because of the different styles and mutual hostility, the representatives of both sides, Tupac and Big, were shot and killed in 1996/1997. Link has some conflicts with the East Coast rap group, and West Coast rap is also a potential partner. Chapter 153 score. Sir, the SAT results are out. Have you checked them? When he came out of Link Music, a young man dressed as a reporter ran out of the cafe opposite with a camera and blocked his way. Link Baker held the car door and asked, are the SAT results out? Yes, they came out yesterday, Mr. Baker. Why don't you check them now? The young man smiled. Link smiled gently. He was busy filming these days and forgot about the exam. He took out his mobile phone and called Anna, asking her to check it on the computer. Link, guess how many points you got? Anna asked in a brisk tone. Is it 1000 points? If not, don't tell me. I have reporters. 1360 points. 1360 points. How could I get such a high score? Link said in surprise. Anna smiled and explained to him that his reading and grammar were almost full marks, and the third part of mathematics using a calculator was almost full marks. Only the last part had a large deduction. Link was very satisfied with this score. Although it was not full marks, it was not bad. Those more than 20 sets of simulation questions were not in vain. Mr. Baker, you scored 1360? The reporter asked hurriedly. Yes. Mr. Baker, congratulations. Are you going to continue to consider going to college next? Still in the process. I will arrange for the company to advertise after it is confirmed. Link responded with 2 sentences, waved and got into the car. Before he returned to Yorkville apartment, Yahoo News posted a report on his SAT score, saying that he was working and studying at the same time, and he was still able to score 1360 points. He was a hidden academic master, and suggested that young people should learn from him. Then Link's phone was bombarded with calls. The first caller was Taylor, asking him if he really scored 1360 points. Of course, as a public figure, I can't just make up a score to fool the public. Link opened the door while talking on the phone. Dear, you are amazing. You can get so many points by just doing a few sets of questions. What do you think I can get if I take the SAT? Taylor asked. You must be taller than me. You are so smart. SAT exams are so easy for you. Huh, you are so sweet. Are you cheating on me? Haha, how is that possible? I just got off the plane. What would I cheat on? Link had secretly praised Taylor for her sharp mind. Maybe she has a sixth sense. It is better not to happen again like Amy Adams. That's not necessarily true. Last time I just went out for a walk and you took a photo of me and went to a popular music video. Half a day in New York is enough for 10 dates. Don't joke. If you hadn't come to New York, I would have just moved into the apartment and it would have been lonely. Wait a few days. I have a lot of work these days. Okay. Link Han asked about the machine's work again. The big news was still promoting Taylor's second album Fearless. In March, Mercedes-Benz selected Dream It as the advertising promotion song, and UNICEF also used this song as the official promotion song. This song once again topped the Billboard singles chart and stayed on the chart for 22 consecutive weeks. And the third promotional single You Belong With Me also became the #1 song on the US Billboard radio music chart with 117 million listener hits last week, and has been on the charts for consecutive weeks. Taylor is also a female singer who relies on country music singles to be on the Billboard radio music chart. The album Fearless has sold more than 8 million copies worldwide and is expected to exceed 10 million copies this year. The album continues to sell well, and Taylor has more work arrangements. She is currently attending a country music festival in Nashville. After chatting for a while and just hanging up the phone, Evika called again, also asking about the exam. Link, did you cheat? Evika asked directly. I also used cheating on the SAT exam. I can get more than 1300 points on those questions with my eyes closed. In fact, I admire some people who have studied in school for 7 or 8 years and are very serious during the exams, but they only get more than 1000 points. How much more difficult is this than mine? Link Baker. What are you talking about? Miss Evika's voice was cold in the microphone, and she gritted her teeth when she spoke. Link felt a chill on his back. Thinking of the method she used to deal with Alien Kanai and others last time, he thought it would be better not to offend her. Eva, I'm kidding. Huh. Graham just called and said that you have written more than 10 good songs, similar in type to the reasons you gave me, and you can make another album, so you will have so many good songs. Why didn't you show them to me before? Why did you keep urging you? Eva, writing songs takes time. It's not that I wrote them and left them there without giving them to you. Link explained quickly. There is one more thing. I have recently taken a fancy to 2 singers. If you have time, come and take a look. Really? If you like them, sign them. You are the focus. I believe in you. Come if I ask you to. Don't be long-winded. Okay. Link heard that she had not hung up the phone yet and asked again. Eva, you want to be in a bad mood. What's wrong? Eva snorted softly in the microphone and said in a gentle and charming voice, there is a man pursuing me. I don't want to get entangled with him. What do you think I should do? Link thought of the corpse of a rich kid at the cocktail party. Do you need me to be a shield? Eva was silent for a while. Forget it. I can handle this matter. You should do your work first and don't mess around outside. If you need a woman, I will arrange it for you. I didn't mess around. You better. Eva hung up the phone again immorally. Link wiped his forehead, feeling helpless, thinking that he was an Olympic champion, a world boxing champion, a popular singer, and a billionaire, and he was nervous and sweating when talking on the phone with a woman. This woman is too overbearing. After hanging up the phone, The phone showed 12 missed calls and more than 50 text messages and MSN messages, including Selena, Ms. Mandy, Dino, Gadet, Franco, Paul Walker, Michelle Rodriguez, Lady Gaga, Amber, etc. Most of the text messages were in a teasing tone, congratulating him on his good grades, congratulating him on becoming a college student, and calling him a top student. Just as he was about to reply to the message, a delicate little round face appeared on the screen. It was Selena's call. "Selena, are you going to congratulate me?" "Thank you, I got it." "Humph," Selena said with a nasal tone and dissatisfaction. "Bad guy, who told you to get such a high score? You are so busy, and you still get so many points. What do you want me to do?" "Woo woo, Link, you have to write for me again." Link smiled lightly. "You will also take the SAT next year, right? If your score is higher than mine, I will write 3 poems for you. Higher than 1360 points. This is too difficult," Selena said softly and with difficulty. "You don't want to beat me? You are definitely not good at fighting, and you can't sing either. The only place where you can beat me is the SAT exam. So girl, come on." Link smiled. "Okay, I accept the challenge, and I must beat you hard in the SAT exam," Selena said confidently. Selena asked him a few more questions about the exam before transferring the call to Catherine. Catherine suggested which university he should prepare for the exam and what major he should study. Link thought about it and realized that he didn't have time to study at school, nor could he get enough credits like other students, so it would be easier to apply for a sports major. As long as he got good results in sports events, it would not be difficult to graduate. So you can apply for a sports major as an undergraduate, and if you have free time, you can take a double degree to recharge yourself. If you want to learn more, you can apply for a graduate degree in other majors after graduating from college and strive to achieve your dream. When she heard that he would study for a doctorate in the future, Selena screamed, "Are you crazy?" Catherine, however, approved of his idea and thought it was very good. She wanted Selena to study for a doctorate in the future. Amid Selena's protest, Link hung up the phone with satisfaction and unexpectedly found that the 4th call was from Mario. "Mario, did you get my SAT score too?" "Thank you, I saw yours." "Congratulations. I received it." "SAT? What's that?" Mario muttered. "Link, last time you said you would come to watch my game. Now I'm in the semifinals. When will you come?" It turned out to be this matter. He said he knew about it and would definitely be there tomorrow. Chapter 154 Competition. The 2009 National Amateur Boxing Conference was held in Louisville, Kentucky in the East. Kentucky is not very special among the 4 major states in the United States, but it is the hometown of Colonel Sanders. Louisville sounds ordinary, but it is the place where boxing champion Ali was born. The conference was held in the John Cardinal Stadium, a large comprehensive stadium that can accommodate nearly 80,000 spectators. At noon, when Link was wearing a peak hat, and Dino, Simon, and Morales became adults, there were not many spectators on the scene. About 2 people, and the 2 boxing rings in the middle were respectively holding the semi-finals of the 48 kilograms lightest lightweight and the super heavyweight over 92 kilograms. The 2 contestants wore red and blue armor suits and competition t-shirts. In the mutual attack, because the 2 contestants in the super heavyweight competition were big, more people watched. Amateur competitions are boring. There is no KO after fighting for a long time. If you want to be a professional boxing agent, you should also watch boring competitions carefully. Maybe among these boring boxers, there is a future world champion, Link said as he walked. When Christmas was about to pass last year, Mario and Morales were inspired by him and set a small goal on the spot, one to participate in the boxing championship and the other to participate in the Golden Gloves. Dino also wanted to find a job and asked Link for his opinion. Link advised him to inherit the family business from being an agent, go around the world to search for some qualified boxers and sign them to train boxing. He was born in a family of boxers and often watched top boxers training and competing. His skin became obviously brighter and better than other agents. If he is lucky, he can make a lot of money by signing a future boxing champion. Dino thought it made sense. At the beginning of the year, he traveled around Colombia, Mexico, Canada and other places, and brought back 3 hot Latin women. He advocated that they should be trained as boxers. Old Duver almost died of anger when he heard it. Later, Dino explained to Link that, after watching a circle, he felt that those boxers were not good and none of them could compare to him. Link had no choice but to tell him directly that Deontay Wilder, Andy Ruiz Jr., Joe Smith Jr., Haitian Peters and others who participated in the Olympic qualifying last year were all good. After they had gone through the competition, Dino went to find a few more people to sign, but it was too late for him. After the Olympic series, those people also became famous and were signed behind the scenes. Lightweight Junior Joe Smith has now been confirmed, and Dino has used a promotional label worth $1 million to sign him. Link didn't know much about the future of Junior Joe Smith, but he only remembered that he was the only one who KO'd Bernard Hopkins in the competition, and his strength was not bad. After arriving at the scene, Link walked into the competition area and met West, Mario, Reggie and others. Finally, he went back to Miami to participate in the concert and met everyone. There was no need to say hello when they met again. Link, I must win the championship today, Blonde Reggie said excitedly when he saw him. Come on. I hope you are the second champion to come out of our boxing gym. Okay, I promise. Reggie bumped fists with him. Mario said to Link coolly, Link, watch out, I'm going to knock out my opponent this time. Don't brag, protect your head first, be careful of being knocked out by your opponent. Coach West criticized with his eyes wide open. Humph. Of course not, I will win this match, Mario said, pounding some of his chest muscles. Since preparing to participate in the light heavyweight competition last year, he has started a weight loss plan. In more than 3 months, he has lost more than 10 pounds, his big belly has shrunk, and some muscles have been pulled out of his body. His face full of fat still looks like he deserves a beating. Mario, I have a hunch that you will be knocked out by the opponent. I will be knocked out? You are talking nonsense. I will never do that, Mario said angrily. Really? Wait and see. Link smiled lightly and sat down in the front row. The super heavyweight and lightweight competitions on the ring ended, and the boxers participating in the heavyweight and welterweight semi-boxing came on stage. Mario waved his fist at Link, told him to watch, and strode onto the boxing ring. Will Mario really lose? Dino looked at him. I don't know. We need to fight to know. Mario's opponent is a black man who is 188 centimeters tall and weighs 195 pounds. He is 25 years old and has an amateur record of 55 wins in 68 fights. He has a strength of B+ and a technique of B. His overall strength is comparable to Mario. After the game started, Mario chose to take the initiative to attack, and his opponent did not show weakness. They exchanged punches with each other, and the first round ended in a draw. In the second round, Mario continued to attack, and his opponent also adopted the same strategy. The second round also ended in a draw. In the third round, both sides had a certain amount of consumption and were sweating profusely. Mario continued to attack, and his opponent chose to defend and counterattack. It's just that the opponent's defensive technology is very ordinary. Mario often trains with Link and Morales, and has good performance in technology and punch weight. In the third round, he punched the opponent in the face and beat the opponent. Mario is going to win, Morales said. Link nodded. Mario was once a heavyweight boxer. His strength was not comparable to his shoulders. He was slightly better than his opponent in terms of technique. Mario also had an obvious advantage, which was that he had better psychological quality. This was related to Mario's training and experience in the main competition training ground. In the large training ground, he could meet many different types of boxers and had the opportunity to compete with many world boxing champions. After a boxer has fought with a world boxing champion, he will have a more stable mentality and more skilled techniques when fighting with ordinary boxers. The two sides fought for 5 rounds, and finally Mario defeated his opponent with a score of 37-24. Link, I won. You opened your eyes wide, I won. Mario shouted at Link while pulling the rope. Stop shouting. It's only half strength, not strength. Don't be too happy too early. Coach West shouted. Mario shrugged his big nose and walked off the boxing ring unhappily. After the heavyweight match ended, after several rounds of competition, it was the turn of Regi, a 69kg super middleweight, to compete. Regi participated in the battle, and his skills were very good. After Link and Mario left, Coach West trained him as a core disciple, and placed all his experience and training resources on him. His performance was also good, with a sense of advance and retreat, and skilled techniques. After 5 rounds of competition, Regi won the game with a slight advantage of 21-18, and won the super middleweight gold medal. Coach West was very excited after seeing Regi's round. Strictly speaking, Regi was the disciple he trained. Link is a genius, and will shine wherever he is. Mario is a stubborn stone, and is more influenced by Link. Although Regi is also influenced by Link, he still follows West's guidance and training. Coach West has made great contributions to winning the championship. Coach West, Link, Mario, I also have a gold medal. Regi came down with the gold medal and shouted excitedly, Regi, well done. Everyone congratulated Regi. Regi, don't be so excited, I'll have that medal soon. Mario spread his arms a little, squinting at the gold medal on Regi's body, with envy on his face that he couldn't hide. Mario, you don't have to. It's too stressful. I won the gold medal last year, Regi this year, you can get it next year. Our boxing gym will not be bad this year. Link laughed. Why? I want one this year too. If not, you just wait and see. Mario turned his head and snorted coldly. Chapter 155 Awards. After a 2-hour break at noon, Link and Dino played a game of basketball in the gymnasium. At 2 o'clock, they came to the competition site to watch Mario's final. In the final, Mario's opponent was also a Latin American boxer, Cusle Arnold, who was lean, strong, 182 centimeters tall, and over 192 centimeters long. Just looking at his body shape, he is a flexible and technical player, and his physical strength and boxing willpower should be good. Mario has met the most severe opponent, and it may be difficult to win, Morales said while looking at the boxing ring. Link nodded. If he met such an opponent, he only needed to surpass the opponent in speed, and then use heavy punches to implement tactics, and it would not be difficult to defeat him. But Mario's speed is a shortcoming, and his physical strength and skills are not necessarily better than his opponent. The only advantage is that his punches are a little heavier than his opponent. In amateur competitions, the contestants have protective gear for self-defense, and a stronger fist does not have much advantage. After the match started, Mario attacked hard for a round, hitting more than 60 punches in a row. Only 3 punches hit the opponent's effective parts, and the rest missed. The opponent hit him 7 times in a row, and 1 hit him. Mario was beaten. Link, do you have any good ideas? West supervised the team. Link looked at the ring and nodded. Think about it for a while, and wait a little longer. Why? If there is a special reason, why don't you bring it up now? Dino and Regi asked curiously. Link shook his head. Mario's poor execution of tactics. It's useless to go out now. In the first round, Mario was beaten to a pulp. Link asked Regi to take him to the gold medal boxing ring, to tell Mario to surrender, although he couldn't beat him either. Mario was furious and almost commanded Regi. In the second round, Mario continued to attack hard, and the opponent continued to dodge flexibly and play defensive counterattacks. In this round, Mario punched 72 times, only hitting the opponent's effective parts 4 times, and was hit by the opponent 8 times. The score between the two sides was 7-15, and he was far behind. Link asked Regi to show off to Mario again, saying that Trainer West was going to reward him with a car that was no worse than the Pontiac GTO. When Mario heard this, his eyes suddenly turned red, and he waved his fist and roared, Link, if you stimulate Mario like this, can he beat his opponent? Dino asked Mario, who had taken stimulants. No use, he will continue to lose this round. Then what's the point of doing this? Wait. Link watched the game on the ring, and felt very interesting. In the past, he was on the ring, and surrounded by the audience. Now he is sitting here, watching other people's games. He found that, after becoming a spectator, he can see the moves, habits, habitual movements, boxers' personalities, boxing awareness, etc. of both sides of the game more clearly. At the same time, He thought that, when he was playing under the gaze of tens of thousands of people, he was actually showing his own ability, personality, and charm. The stronger the opponent, the more exciting the game, the more fully the biological display, the personal ability and charm are stimulated and amplified, attracting and conquering more audiences. After thinking of this, he began to reflect on the past games, and found that he did not perform well in the previous professional games. The victory was too quick, and the time was limited, so he failed to show more ability and charm. In addition to leaving an amazing record in the media, powerful punching weight and speed, there was nothing else to boast about, which was a bit too big and useless. In comparison, although boxing champion Ali, George Foreman, Joe Frazier and others did not have so many wins and records in boxing, they left a deeper impression on boxing fans, including their tenacious spirit, tenacious willpower, superb skills, never give up fighting spirit, cunning dribbling and so on. In the hearts of boxing fans, such boxers also have beauty and personality appeal, so in their later years of worship, boxing fans will still miss him. Link and his contemporaries all made mistakes, being too impetuous, and paying too much attention to the results of the game, and not being able to fully devote themselves to the game, and show more to the audience, a bit like fast food. This may also be one of the reasons for the decline of contemporary boxing. After understanding this, Link frowned and pondered, how can he perform better in the boxing ring, and have a richer personality charm? Link, stop being in a daze. The third round is almost over. Mario has jumped 9 times and only hit his opponent 5 times. He is about to lose. What is your plan? Dino shouted while pulling his arm. Link looked at Mario on the ring. He was full of fighting spirit in the first 3 rounds. After losing 3 rounds in a row, his physical strength and willpower were seriously insufficient. He had no fighting spirit at all. He probably accepted the outcome of failure in his heart. Link said a few words to West. After listening, West thought about it and agreed with his suggestion. After the 3rd round, West walked over and whispered a few words to Mario. Mario hung his head, his expression was depressed, and he didn't respond to West's training words. Coach West didn't say anything more after he finished speaking and returned to the audience. Come on, Mario, Raggy shouted. In the 4th round, Mario retreated and stopped attacking. He fought while his opponent saw that he was sweating, panting, and had no fighting spirit on his face, so he tried to launch a counterattack to expand the victory. The opponent punched him again and again, but Mario did not fight back, but defended himself. When the 4th cycle was more than 80 seconds in, Mario retreated to a corner and suddenly counterattacked his opponent, punching him in the chest several times in a row, pushing him to the corner, and blocking his opponent's movement route with his sturdy body. He was caught off guard by his opponent, and could only protect his head with his man fist and dodge continuously. Mario swung his fists continuously to hit his opponent's head and face until his opponent was hugged, and the referee separated them, and the confrontation between the 2 sides ended. Is this your characteristic? Dino said in surprise. It's a little early. Link shook and said that just in the game, he noticed that Mario's opponent would make a little fictitious movements after being hit, as if he was stunned. He guessed that the opponent's ability to resist blows was not high enough, so he trained with West to persuade Mario to use strong tactics, to force the opponent to the corner, limit the opponent's speed, and then implement a series of strikes. Unfortunately, Mario's punches were not strong enough, and his punching speed was not fast enough. If he had gone up, the head attack just now would have knocked down his opponent directly. Link, if you have such a tactic, why didn't you use it earlier? D said. In the first 3 rounds, the opponent was unlikely to be able to surround Mario. In addition, Mario's mentality was problematic. He performed averagely in favorable rounds, but sometimes performed exceptionally well in unfavorable rounds. Link explained. With more than 20 seconds left in the 4th round, Mario took advantage of the opponent's lack of recovery and launched another strong attack. This time, the opponent's reaction was a little slower, and Mario hit him in the head twice in succession. In the 5th round, the opponent began a national competition, circling around Mario, trying to use this method to survive the remaining 2 minutes. Mario directly adopted a foul strategy, reaching out to hug the opponent, and took the opportunity to give him 2-2 punch. Then, Mario pounced on him again, punched the opponent to the ropes, pressed the opponent with his belly, and took advantage of the opponent's lack of reaction to hit the opponent's head with a few swinging punches. Knocked down the opponent. After being followed by many referees, the opponent continued to move, but his movements were slower than in the previous rounds. Reggie and Morales shouted from the audience. Opponent. Mario seized the time to attack, and in the 86th second, he successfully forced his opponent to the ropes again, and knocked down his opponent's head with 5 consecutive punches, and his opponent fell to the ground for the first time. Seeing Mario knock down his opponent, the audience shouted to cheer, and Reggie and the people in the boxing gym also shouted loudly. Mario's state was rising, and his opponent's state was serious. At 112 seconds, Mario hit the opponent 3 times again, and wanted to continue attacking, but unfortunately the bell for the end of the game rang. Ding dang. Because there was only one knockdown, Mario failed to KO his opponent. Both sides stood in front of the referee's seat together, and everyone looked forward to the 3 referees' scores. The final result was 32:31. 30:30. 31:30. They judged Mario to end, and the players judged it a tie, and Mario ended with a slight advantage. Roar. After seeing this score, Mario waved his fist and roared to the sky, and also hammered his chest hard in Link's direction, looking particularly arrogant. Link smiled indifferently. The heavyweight competition ended, and the award ceremony began immediately. The song Unstoppable was playing in the men's civilization. Link and the president of the Boxing Association, Mr. John Cardill, walked onto the boxing ring. Link, I won. I won. I'm also the champion. Mario stood on the podium and shouted at him. Haha, Link, you thought I was going to lose just now. How about now? Ha, you are wrong. Very wrong. Mario waved his arms and shouted proudly. Link nodded, shook his fist with the 3rd place, congratulated him, and hung a bronze medal around his neck. Mario's eyes suddenly widened. You, Link shook hands with the 3rd place again, said congratulations, and hung the silver medal around his neck. You present the award? Mario asked in shock. Ke smiled softly. Am I not qualified to present you with the award? He is not only an Olympic champion and world boxing champion, but also was listed as the best boxing promoter of 2008/2009 by Ring magazine in April, because he promoted boxing matches on many occasions, making boxing attract more attention. After the news that he came to watch the match was made public by the media, the Boxing Association invited him to be the award presenter, and he could choose any level. He said that he would present the award, which would also attract more attention to this event. Ke did not refuse. Mario stared at him, and the flesh on his face kept shaking. Link picked up the gold medal, and smiled at him. Mario gritted his teeth, resisted for a few seconds, and had to lower his head. Not bad. Keep working hard. Link patted his shoulder and said. Mario's mouth twitched fiercely. He swore that, if he had known that Link was the award presenter, he would not have tried so hard to win the match. After the match, the news that Mario and Reggie won the US Boxing Championship, and the light heavyweight and super welterweight championships were also widely spread by the media. Because the two were from the same school as Link, who was very tired in the boxing world, the media and the public also paid great attention to them, wondering if they would be as good as Link in the future. However, the one who benefited the most was the West Club, which produced 3 amateur championship champions in a row. This result was too disappointing. According to Mario, Coach West now smiles like a lunatic every day. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 156 Music Festival. After Mario and Reggie won the gold medal, Coach West also bought 2 modified Porsche cars as a reward. After they got them, the two went out to modify the car and sneaked to participate in the underground car race in Everglades City. They were caught by the West Palm Beach County Police Department by mistake. The game was over, and they were fined more than $3,000, which caused a big scandal. After leaving Louisville, Link did not return to New York immediately, but took a tour bus to Nashville, Tennessee, and walked for more than 3 hours. This year's Country Music Festival CMA is being held in this city, which lasts for 5 days in April and May every year. Taylor is one of the most popular female singers in the current country music industry. She was also invited to participate in the performance and came to receive the award issued by the Country Music Association. Country music is different from pop music, rock, hip-hop, and folk music. It is a kind of pop music with American national characteristics. It emerged in the southern United States and is a representative of American white national music. It mainly reflects the living conditions, love, broken love, home, etc. of the blue-collar working class. It is the music of the lower class, also known as blue-collar music. Representatives include Johnny Denver, Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, Shania Twain, and Taylor. The latter three are all beautiful women with sweet voices, and are also queen-level figures in the American music scene. Taylor's first 4 albums are all country music styles. In her later works, she added a lot of popular elements such as R&B, dance music, and rock music, which also made the content of country music more urbanized and mainstream, becoming a kind of mainstream music in the world. The national is the world, and it is most perfectly reflected in country music. This year's Country Music Festival was held in Cumberland Park in Nashville. According to media reports, this year's music festival attracted more than 80 visitors. On the way here, Link met many people who came to participate in the excitement. Most of them were black people in their 20s and 30s. They came from all directions by train, bus, truck, and motorcycle, giving people the feeling that the American people don't need to work to make money. Seeing these people, Link felt that there was a reason for the decline of America. When I arrived at the festival, Taylor was singing on the stage in the middle. She had a golden ponytail, wore an ordinary plaid shirt, blue, and held a guitar. She sat in front of the microphone and sang the song White Horse from her second album. This is the style of country music, with a simple stage, simple and plain clothes, and simple music accompaniment. The singer sang to the owner like telling a story. There were no seats under the stage. The owner stood on the grass, looked up at the singer on the stage, and listened to her singing quietly. Looking over, there were people within a 2-kilometer radius, endless. Fortunately, the on-site sound equipment sounded instantly, and even if you didn't buy a ticket, you could hear it clearly in the park square. After Taylor finished singing a song, there was a burst of warm applause and cheers from the audience. Judging from the movement, there were no less than 40,000 young people. The audience shouted Taylor, one more song. Taylor got up, took a sip of the drink, and continued to sing. The speakers continued to broadcast her bright and warm singing voice, which gave people a pleasant and gentle enjoyment, and was very contagious. She can be called a straight man killer singer. This was not Link's first time to see Taylor's concert. He had seen it 7 or 8 times in his past and present lives. The audience now stood in the dense crowd, looking at the tall, spirited girl on the stage. She was now his Annie, and he felt very strange, a little proud, and a little worried. Wife. Wife. One more. Suddenly, several male fans shouted nearby. Link's face darkened. That's my wife, not yours. You dare to call Taylor's wife in front of me. It's too shameless. Link, where are you? While watching the performance, Link learned that Mrs. Andrea was on the phone. Link told the other party the location. Emily, Taylor's assistant, came over from the crowd and greeted him to the singer's rest area. Link followed Emily to the simple tent next to the stage. There were many bands and members, singers, and staff, hundreds of people coming and going. Because of his fashionable hat, no one recognized him. Link, are you going to present flowers? Mrs. Andrea looked at the bouquet in his hand, which was a large bunch of pink and purple irises. It looked particularly gorgeous, attracting the attention of everyone around. Mrs. Andrea sighed. Straight man. Taylor is singing. I'll give her the present after she gets off the stage. There are many irises in Tennessee in summer. On the way here, he saw many flower shops selling them. $1 could buy 10. He directly asked for 100. He held them in his hands without pressing the button. He was just being held to look at them, which looked a bit ostentatious. Taylor sang 3 songs on the stage and waved off the stage amid the cheers of the fans. When he came to the outdoor shed, He saw Link holding a bouquet. Taylor was stunned for a moment and looked at him in surprise. "Why are you here?" Taylor walked over and looked at him and smiled. "I was watching the game in Louisville yesterday. I thought it was not far from your Prague, so I came to see your concert." "Oh, I see. I just stopped by." Taylor raised her eyebrows, very dissatisfied with his answer. "Of course not. It's mainly because I missed you so much and wanted to see you earlier." Link held her hips and smiled. "Well, you're right." Taylor kissed him. After he took off his hat, the other singers recognized him and came over to say hello. Taylor also introduced a group of country music singers to Link. The famous country music superstar Tim McGraw and his wife Faith Hill in the 1990s. Their representative work is There You'll Be, the theme song of Pearl Harbor. The leader of bluegrass music, Alison Krauss, won 25 Grammy Awards from 1990 to 2009, and is also the female singer with the most Grammy Awards. Keith Urban, Nicole Kidman's second husband, is also a very famous country music singer, with global record sales of tens of millions and 2 Grammy Awards. There is also Carrie Underwood, who won the Best Female Country Music Singer award at the Grammy last year. South Carolina singer Josh Turner, the band Lady Antebellum, White Teeth Luke Bryan, etc. There are so many talented people in the country music circle, and Link is not a big name among them. Everyone sat on the grass together, drinking beer and talking about music. Whoever's turn it was to perform on stage would go up with his instrument to sing, while others would go up on stage. "Link, don't you want to go up and sing?" Taylor took a sip of beer, her face flushed, and leaned on his shoulder. Link could see from her timid posture that Taylor was very happy about his arrival, and he thought he could have more such surprises in the future. "Can I go up without rehearsal?" Country music doesn't need rehearsal, and it doesn't matter if you sing wrong. The first half is for the invited guests to sing on stage in turn, and then there are more than a row of new people to perform. This is also the most watched part of the music festival over the years. As long as you are brave enough, everyone can go up and sing their own story, Taylor explained. Link thought for a while and shook his head. He rarely listened to this kind of slow tempo music before. Except for classic old songs such as 500 Miles, Take Me Home on Country Roads, Mountain Eagle Song and Lemon Tree, he had never heard other country songs, and there was nothing to sing when he went up. Chapter 157 Sing a Song. Link, go ahead. I haven't seen your concert. Let's see how you perform on stage, Ms. Faith Hill said with a smile. I haven't seen Link's concert either, but I've seen him at Lady Gaga's concert. Link took off his suit and looked really cool. Lee Underwood shook the bottle. Link also remembered that time at K-Miami's concert. He wanted to wear a suit and sing a song honestly, but Lady Gaga thought that the stage style was too ordinary and not eye-catching enough. She asked him to sing the first song in a suit and the second song Despacito with his upper body bare and dance while singing. I didn't feel anything at the time, but after watching the broadcast, I just felt my scalp tingling and a little embarrassed. Okay, I'll go up and try. Seeing that everyone wanted to hear him sing, Link didn't hesitate. He took Taylor's guitar, went to the backstage registration queue, and then went on stage to sing John Denver's Take Me Home Country Road. He had trained in the studio for several months, so his voice was very mature. After several performances, he was not nervous when he went on stage to sing. It was about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. There were fewer people in the audience, but there were still more than 20,000 people under his shoulders. Because he was wearing a helmet and hat, he didn't introduce himself, but everyone could recognize him. They just thought he sang well, and that he was very talented to be able to cover a classic old song in a new way. When he finished singing and was about to leave the stage, many audience members shouted one more song. Generally, at a music festival, the audience shouting one more song means they approve of him and want to hear him continue singing. For those who don't sing well, everyone asks him to leave early. Link, here we go again. Taylor stood on the grass, holding the trumpet and shouting loudly. Link's voice is very clean and full of smoke. It feels good only when you hear it live. Faith Hill clapped his hands. He is a very talented human being, Tim McGraw said, wearing a cowboy hat, looking at Link on the stage. Link had a difficult time on stage. He had just covered a familiar country song, and the next song was an old one. It was easy to sing old songs, but it was too difficult to sing them in a new way. If you were not careful, you would fail. He saw the main instruments of country music on the stage, which were guitar, drums, extreme, banjo and piano. He put down his guitar, sat in front of the piano, and said to the microphone, "There is a new song all of me for Miss Taylor Swift." As he was speaking, someone suddenly shouted Link. He is Link, and then more people shouted Link. Link, mainly some young girls, who screamed excitedly and rushed to the stage before he started singing. Link simply took off his hat and waved to the audience, and the screams from the audience became louder and higher. After Link comforted the fans several times, they gradually quieted down. He put his hands on the black and white keys, took a deep breath, and played the prelude of the song. What should I do? Without your smart mouth, without your sweet words, I know you well. You pull me in, and you kick me out. Sometimes you are passionate, and sometimes you are cold. It makes me dizzy. No kidding, I can't hold you down. It makes me crazy, but I can't catch you. Wow. It's so beautiful. Carrie Underwood and other singers couldn't help but exclaimed. They had heard Link's inspirational songs, and the explosive song Give Me a Reason. They thought Link was a hard rock singer. When he sang the song, his voice was gentle, delicate, and a little hoarse and pitiful, which was very tickling. Taylor also covered her lips and looked at Link on the stage in surprise, playing and singing. She had no idea when Link wrote this song, and it sounded so good. Because I love all of you. Love your curves and all your edges. All your perfect flaws. It's very good. Although it's not a country music style, it's indeed a good song. Tim McGraw said while drinking beer. If I can write a song like this, no one can resist my charm when I go to a bar to pick up girls. Josh Turner, a young singer from South Carolina, said enviously, if the accompaniment is better, the effect will be even better. Faith Hill asked. Taylor smiled and said, it's Link's problem. He has only practiced the piano for half a year and is not proficient enough. Only practiced for half a year? That's also amazing. On the stage, Link played the piano and sang this classic love song All of Me. I don't know if the song appears in the Love album. Now he took it out to perform in advance, which can be regarded as a warm-up for that album. The singing of this song is not large, but the emotional processing needs to be more delicate to be contagious. Link has practiced many times under the guidance of Greem, and with his unique low frequency, his singing level is not inferior to the original. Because I Love You when singing the second chorus, many audiences sang along, as if it was Link's personal concert. He shouldn't have been allowed to go up. He is ruining our place. Ms. Faith Hill laughed. They even showed their affection in public. I'm so jealous. Carrie Underwood glanced at Taylor with a sour tone. Taylor laughed, rubbed his knees, and sat on the grass, blinking at Link on the stage. His blue eyes were full of crystal light. The performance on the stage was over. The audience shouted loudly. Link shouted loudly again, and walked off the stage amid the shouts of fans, leaving time for other singers. After the performance, Link followed Taylor and Mrs. Andrea to their home in the western suburbs of Nashville, a single-family villa with a red roof and a large garden around it. When he saw the flowers in the garden, he suddenly understood why Mrs. Andrea had a strange look when she saw him holding irises in his hands. Because there were such flowers everywhere around the villa. April is the flowering season, large patches of purple, white, and pink, and the air is also filled with fragrance. At night, Link lived in the bedroom on the east side of the second floor. According to Mrs. Andrea's instructions, the two of them could not sleep together at night, saying that this was also the rule in the countryside of Nashville. But Taylor still sneaked over, and the two sat on the windowsill facing the garden to chat and kiss. The countryside of Nashville is very beautiful, especially in April and May. There are wildflowers and grasses everywhere, green trees, butterflies and birds flying everywhere, and quaint windmills are strung along the river. When passing by the farm, you can occasionally encounter a few free-range horses grazing leisurely on the plains. It is very impressive that the country cottage is painted by the painter Monet, and those irises seem to have been depicted by Van Gogh. It is hard to believe that this place is in the same world as the high-rise buildings in New York. Link stayed in Nashville for 2 days, and every day he accompanied Taylor for walks, wrote songs, and participated in music festival activities. Until he received a call from Ms. Mandy, MJ's concert rehearsal had begun, and he needed to go over to participate in the show rehearsal, and Taylor Plath's activities were about to end, and she had to return to Los Angeles to continue promoting her album. Link had to temporarily bid farewell to the idyllic life, and start again in the Steel Forest. Chapter 158, Beating. Bang, bang, bang. In the brightly lit boxing training ground, Link, wearing a thin t-shirt, red sports shorts, and professional palm protecting gloves, kept hitting the black leather sandbag hanging on the beam with his fists. With one punch, the sandbag made a puffing sound as he hit it, and the swing amplitude was not large. The sandbag was filled with iron sand, sawdust, sea sand, wheat, and sponge, weighing 100 kilograms. He could also hit the sandbag with force, but the purpose of training the sandbag was to practice movements and fist and foot coordination, and to cultivate a sense of rhythm, not strength. Therefore, during the training process, the smaller the swing amplitude of the sandbag, the better. After practicing for more than 2 days, Link's body was covered with sweat, and the t-shirt was also stuck to his back. The inside of the inverted triangle was like this. After returning from Nashville, he was going to the Lincoln Cultural Center to participate in the rehearsal of MJ's concert, but he called again and said that MJ had something urgent to do and could not come to New York for the time being, and the rehearsal would be postponed for a few days, and the time would be notified separately. The guest called to apologize to him. Link guessed that it was probably due to his physical development, and he had no opinion, but he felt that he probably wouldn't be able to see MJ in person, which was a bit regretful. With free time, except for going to the recording studio to practice singing, he spent the rest of his time in the training field. After watching Mario's game last time, he also found that there were some problems in his mentality and approach to the game. He was extremely impetuous in the game, and wanted to create hotspots too much, which also led to his players having gorgeous data without much actual connotation, and not having a classic fight. After learning from the pain, Link decided to calm down his mentality, study boxing techniques seriously, fight hard in the next game, and perform more boxing matches instead of pure strength. Bang bang bang. While practicing boxing, Mario Morales Dino came, and the newcomer Joe Smith, who was 183 centimeters tall and had a wingspan of 193, was a 20-year-old white boxer. After Mario won the light heavyweight gold medal in the tournament, he joined the main event company under the influence of Dino and prepared to switch to professional boxing this year. Link, there were a lot of hot girls at the Scream Girls last night. It's a pity that you didn't. Dino said to the sandbag without using his big flower arm explosion. I don't want you to do it. Link smiled lightly, put away his fist, and said to Morales and Mario, now that you are here, let's start training. Who will go first? I'll go first. Morales raised his hand. Exclamation mark. Mario frowned and looked at Link, and said solemnly, Link, there is something I think I should pay attention to. Speak. Link took the boxing gloves, and put them on. Mario raised his chin, and said with an ugly face full of flesh, Link, I'm now the champion of the National Boxing Championship. If it weren't for the bad time, I might have become the Olympic champion. I think when you talk, it's better to be more polite, just like just now. You said, Mario, do you have time? If you have time, how about we have a fight, instead of rudely asking who will go first, which is too rude. Link smiled lightly, nodded and said, that makes sense. Then may I ask Mr. Mario Joe, do you have time? How about a fight on stage? Okay, then I'll fight with you. I see you haven't made any progress recently. Mario shrugged, put on boxing gloves, and followed Link to the boxing ring. How long do you think Mario can last? Dino shot arm by arm. Under 10 seconds. Les grinned. No way. Mario is the light heavyweight champion, and he can only last 10 seconds under Link's formula. Little Joe Smith was a little bit unbelievable. He knew Link was very powerful, but Mario was the national amateur material champion and a light heavyweight boxer. It was impossible for him to not even last 10 seconds under Link's hands. Come on Link, you were stronger than me before, and you could beat me however you wanted. Now I'm also a champion, and you can't knock me down easily again. In the boxing ring, Mario raised his fists high, his head resting on the left and right arm rests on his shoulders, looking very flexible. Link glanced at him and said, "I suggest you wear protective gear to protect your head. I don't need it. Come on." Mario roared, swinging his fist and actively hitting Link. He hit Mario's forehead at a faster speed, but suddenly Mario stopped, quickly turned his head to the left, and flexibly dodged his fist. Seeing that he missed the punch, Mario grinned triumphantly. From today on, the days of being bullied by Link will end. Be careful. Bang. Mario only felt a collision on the right side of his forehead, and his head seemed to be hit by a hammer. The strong inertia dragged his body to stagger to the left one step. Bang. He fell heavily to the ground, his left face made intimate contact with the rubber plate of the boxing ring, and saliva flew out of his mouth. "Why are you deserting at this time?" Link looked at Mario on the ground with puzzled eyes. Mario blinked and was also confused. Why did he have such wild thoughts just now? After thinking about it, he felt that it was not his fault. It was because that bastard Link was too cunning. His first punch was a feint, deliberately letting him dodge, and the second punch was a real one, taking advantage of his unpreparedness to punch him. Drag it away, Morales. Let's continue. Link waved his hand and said. Hearing his words, Mario almost fainted. He was a boxing champion, and was named one of the 10 most noteworthy boxers of the year by Ring magazine. He actually said to drag him down. This was too rude. Then he felt someone grabbed his legs and dragged him from the middle of the ring to the corner. Mario cursed in his heart. Can't you change the side when dragging? Doesn't it hurt when your face is rubbing against the floor? Link looked at Mario, who was rolling his eyes and shook his head helplessly. This guy was too arrogant. After winning the championship, he drove fast, picked up girls, smoked marijuana, and had parties for 3 days in a row. If he wasn't taught a lesson with his strength, he would only be a stepping stone in the professional boxing world. When the time comes, he will lose to Ugly and be exposed by the media, and he will also lose face. So it is necessary to beat him up every once in a while. Link. Let's start. Morales put on a head protector and continued to train with Link. Morales participated in the Golden Gloves program in June. After training with Link for more than half a year, his skills, defense, and ability to withstand blows have been greatly improved. Participating in the Golden Gloves warehouse again, even if facing Andre Berto and Andre Zedja, he has a great chance to hit the gold medal. During training, Simon came over. Tell him that the time of the WBA Boxing Champion Challenge has been set on May 25th. The venue is still Madison Square Garden, and the organizer is the WBA North American Boxing Association. They promised that Link's appearance fee will not be less than $5 million. This year, after Link's music has divided more than $10 million, and advertising endorsements have earned nearly $20 million, Link's desire to make money has decreased a lot. He cares more about the strength of his opponent. A strong opponent will defeat the UIU missiles and the game will be more exciting. He took a look at Andre Ronaldo's information. He is 185 centimeters tall, with an arm length of 190 centimeters. He is a black man with a good figure. His current record is 27 wins and 1 loss in 28 fights. He is a former WBF super middleweight champion. He was defeated by Andre Ward last year and lost the championship. At the beginning of the year, he defeated Main Taylor to become the WBA Intercontinental Champion. He is a good opponent. Chapter 159 Singer. After the afternoon training, Link drove to the rooftop music bar on Iceland's 3rd Avenue. The last time he met with director Darren, they had an appointment here. Later, seeing that the environment here was good and the transportation was convenient, he came here 4 or 5 times along the way, and Lee was more familiar with the location. But today, Evoca also chose this place for the appointment, which surprised him a little. He felt that the other party might be pinching him. When they came to the 2nd floor, there were not many people. Only 5 of the 16 booths were occupied. Link glanced in the aisle and saw Evoca's figure. She was sitting at the reading stand in the corner, wearing a moon white dress, with white and slender arms, and long golden brown hair tied up at the back. She didn't have many necklaces on her, but a pair of exquisitely shaped, inlaid earrings and a thin platinum necklace hanging on her swan neck. Her position was not clear and the light was dim, but when she sat there, the light seemed to suddenly brighten up, with a white hazy light. When Link went over, Evika was flipping through a magazine. There was a young man wearing designer clothes standing next to her. I don't know what Evika said to him, but the man walked away with a sad face and drooped shoulders. Link sat opposite and smiled. Evika glanced at him fiercely, straightened her graceful waist, crossed her calves on her knees, and said lightly, I told him that the boyfriend I mentioned is here. So I'm a shield again. You don't want to? Of course not. It's Milner. Link smiled lightly, called the waiter, and asked for a cup of flower tea. This is a bar. Why don't you order wine? Evika asked gracefully, shaking the glass. I'm only 20 years old, not yet the default age for dating. Link shrugged. The default age in the United States is 21, so he is still a little short. Of course, if he wants to drink, no one will come to catch him. This is just an excuse for him not to touch alcohol. The corners of Evika's lips moved, but she quickly calmed down and flipped through the magazine and said, the news said that you sang a new song at a country music festival and publicly expressed your love for Taylor Swift. You are quite romantic. I learned this from movies. Link smiled proudly. I just said that before the album is released, don't sing the songs in it publicly, but you didn't do it. Evika frowned and kissed him, and the momentum on her body condensed. Link laughed dryly, and finally he sang the song All of Me at the music festival. Afterwards, the media took the opportunity to hype up his and Taylor's love, saying that they were the most common couple in the entertainment industry. The song also gained a lot of exposure and was sought after by many people. It is considered the most classic love song in recent years. Many fans went to his Twitter to leave messages asking him to release the studio version as soon as possible, and everyone wanted to listen to it as soon as possible. This is only the third song in the album, and it is not yet time to release it. Eva, it's my fault. I promise I won't do it again next time. Link said, holding a teacup. Evika shook her head and glanced at her watch. Greem and I have discussed that. Now that this song has been released, the third album should be put on the agenda earlier. The second album will be released in June, and the third album will be released in January next year. What do you think? No problem. I'll follow your arrangements for work. Link nodded and smiled. On the first floor of the rooftop music bar, a tall girl with heavy makeup came in from outside with a guitar on her back. When the bar waitress Lily saw her, she immediately came over and said, Lana, Link is here, at the corner of the second floor. The lady looked upstairs and immediately cheered up. The next second she shrugged her shoulders and said, forget it. I haven't been able to attract his attention several times. He must not have looked at me. Lana, don't give up. You sing so well. Why don't you try again? Lily encouraged. She and Lana were friends and knew that Lana wanted to be a professional singer. By chance, she saw Link coming to the bar, so she gave Lana an idea to sing for Link and try to impress him. Link is not only a singer, he also has a music company. If she can impress him, okay, let's try again. The heavy makeup theme atmosphere nodded and went to the second floor with a guitar on his back and accidentally saw Link at the corner. He was wearing a stand-up collar suit, short black hair, dark blue eyes, and that angular profile, as if it had been carefully carved by a sculptor, exquisite and three-dimensional. There were no acne marks or scars on his face, not even a freckle, and it was as clear as the sky in Hawaii. His raised sword eyebrows were dark and thick, symbolizing his resolute and masculine character, and the slightly raised corners of his lips were gentle and emotional. When Lana saw him in person for the first time, she was inflated by this face, and felt that this kind of person did not need any talent, but could charm a large number of girls with just a face. But he is also an Olympic champion, a world boxing champion, a popular singer, and a youth idol. Lana told Lily privately that people like Link were born to be envied. In order to attract his attention, every time she heard Link coming to the bar, she would put on beautiful makeup, dress up exquisitely, and come to the bar to sing. However, she sang here 3 or 4 times, and Link didn't even look at her for a while, which made her very discouraged. She felt that she was doing useless work, and she also complained that Link had poor hearing and didn't know how to appreciate music. She also saw the girl opposite Link, blonde, big breasts, and she also tilted her swan neck when she spoke. She had a good temperament and thought it was Evica. Evica was a socialite and often appeared in magazines and TV. She naturally knew Evica. In addition, Evica was also the co-founder of Link Music. Are they dating or talking about work? Lana took a quick look, put her guitar in front of the microphone with a wicked smile, and sang You Belong to Me from Taylor's second album. You are on the phone with your girlfriend. She is very unhappy and angry about what you said, because she doesn't understand your humor like me. What do you think of her singing? Evica stopped talking and pointed in the direction of the stage. Hearing someone singing Taylor's song, Link turned his head and looked. It was the female singer with heavy makeup. He had heard her sing several times in the bar. She had received singing training, and her voice was hoarse and lazy, similar to the psychedelic music and decadent trip-hop style of the United States in the 1960s. She seemed like a well-trained professional singer. There are too many such singers in bars and nightclubs in Los Angeles and New York, and those who are as capable as professional singers are also very eye-catching. However, the resources in the music industry are limited, and the competition is fierce. Without super singing ability, creative ability, or outstanding appearance, such as Taylor, whose singing ability and appearance are above A level, and creative ability is S. Link himself has S level appearance, A level singing ability, and S level creative ability in the next 20 years. Celebrities bring their own traffic and capital. These are the capital for gaining a foothold in each other's music industry. The singer on the stage has an average singing style, unknown creative ability, and A-level ability. She can only be regarded as a singer with relatively high potential, and can be signed or not. Not bad, but her voice is a bit sad, which is not suitable for Taylor's cheerful songs. Link remembered that Evica had said last time that she had taken a fancy to two good singers, and asked him to go and see them together. Is she one of the singers you have taken a fancy to? Yes, I suddenly saw the video she posted on YouTube, and I think she has a certain value in training. Then go talk to her, I believe your eyes. Link nodded, knowing that he had confirmed the other party's meaning a little bit. Now Evica also had this idea, so he could sign her and try. He called the waiter, and took out a business card, and handed it to the girl who was singing. Lana finished singing, and was about to leave the stage with her guitar on her back. A waiter came over and gave her a business card, pointing to the position over there. Lana looked at the person twice and suddenly her heart was pounding. She had also broken through several scouts in the past and signed a record contract in 2005, but unfortunately the market response was average, so she was abandoned by the record company. Last year, she released her first personal EP Kill Kill at her own expense, but it didn't make much of a splash. But she didn't want to give up, so she posted a singing video on YouTube, hoping to attract the attention of the record company and become a signed singer in this way. However, after several attempts, she didn't have much confidence in signing. Now Link and Evica are here, and they have brought me a business card. Do they think highly of me and want to sign a contract with me? Lana walked towards the opposite direction with a nervous mood. Chapter 160 Sister Thunder. It was past 6 o'clock, and it was time to get off work. Traffic began to flow in front of the rooftop bar. The more than 10 booths on the second floor were also bustling with drinkers. In the booth next to the reading rack, Link crossed his legs and listened to the conversation between Evica and the female singer across from him. The female singer was in her 20s, wearing a red leather jacket. She was tall and over 170 centimeters tall when wearing sneakers. From the perspective of her face shape, she looked pretty good, but she wore black eyeshadow, long false eyelashes, and red lips, and her makeup was too heavy. Putting on makeup is a very normal thing. All the women around Link put on makeup, but Taylor Swift only put on light makeup at home just now. Sometimes she was too lazy and just went barefaced. Evica's eyebrows, lips, cheeks, nails and other parts were carefully modified to make her look so delicate and beautiful, but her makeup skills were high, so it looked like light makeup. In comparison, Link prefers light makeup. He thinks that women who like heavy makeup only use their faces and figures as selling points, which means they don't have much inequalities to show, so they won't pay too much attention. I see there are many names in your videos. Liz Grant, Phenomono, Lana Del Rey. Which one is your real name? Evoca asked sideways. None of them. My name is Elizabeth Woolridge Grant, and the others are stage names. Lana said as she glanced at Link, because she found that Link's expression was a little strange, and he covered her face to look at her, as if there was something on her face. When Link heard her stage name, he was indeed a little surprised. Sister Thunder wanted to be called Lana Del Rey. She has sung the theme song of The Great Gatsby, Youth and Beauty, video games, Summer Sadness, etc. She also collaborated with Taylor on the first song Snow on the Beach. She has won many Grammy Awards, and is also quite famous in the international music scene. Link has seen the other party's poster, a brown-haired beauty with classical charm. I don't know if it's a problem of plastic surgery or makeup. Her current appearance is not as outstanding as on the poster. Lana Del Rey. What's the point of this stage name? Yes, it's based on the names of Ms. Lana Turner and Mr. Ford Del Rey. I think they are my mentors in music. Lana explained. Link smiled lightly. Lana Turner was a Hollywood female movie star in the 1950s and 1960s. She was nominated for an Oscar for Best Actress, and was very beautiful. Ford Dre is a Broadway actor. Link only heard his name, but never saw his works. He is said to be handsome and romantic. Lana uses this stage name, just like someone named Monroe Edison. Seeing that he stopped asking questions, Lana told him some more about herself. She is also from Manhattan, New York, and studied philosophy at Fordham University. In order to pursue her dream of music, she chose to drop out of school in her sophomore year to become a singer. Last year, she released a mini album, 5 of which were written exclusively by her. Drop out of school to become a singer? Do your parents support your idea? Evoca asked. Lana shrugged and said inadvertently, pursuing dreams is my personal business, and it has nothing to do with them. Cool. Evoca's eyes flashed with an inexplicable smile, and she looked at Link. Do you have anything else to say? Link thought for a while, took a pen, and wrote a paragraph of lyrics and music score of Youth and Beauty on paper, and pushed it in front of her. Just from the name, he couldn't be sure if the other party was Sister Dre, but he had heard the song, and the voice was very distinctive and unforgettable. Miss Dre, please try to sing it. Lana read it over and over again, only to find that the lyrics and tune were very ordinary, neither pop nor rock, nor country music style, a bit like the baroque pop of the 1960s, not her favorite type. Because it was Link's request, she could only use the guitar and play the prelude according to the score above. Playing the painting, it feels good. She looked at Link strangely. Did he just write it? I have seen this world. I have seen the prosperity of the world. I have completed everything. Now I have my cake. I have experienced vicissitudes and enjoyed the beauty effect of diamonds. Splendor. Bel Air now has diamond jewelry, a prominent reputation, and a mansion. Wow. After singing only one paragraph, Lana suddenly covered her mouth. She had never known that her amplification would sound so good with this tune. Evoca also looked at Link strangely. When Lana sang on the stage just now, the amplification also had some characteristics, but it was completely incomparable to now. Now her voice is like a peerless French opera singer, lying on the velvet carpet of the Louvre and singing softly, lazy, charming, gorgeous, and very catchy. In this way, it would be a good idea to sign her. Link nodded as he listened. The singing voice was very similar. The other party should be Sister Dre. Ms. Dre, your voice is very distinctive. If you plan to be a singer, you can consider coming to Link Music Development. We are confident that we can make you a real singer. Link said. Lana was stunned for a moment. Now she was going to sign a contract. Could she really sign a contract with a record company? Considering the experience of being abandoned by a record company after signing one album in the past, she was nervous and her heart was beating. Mr. Baker, how many records are you going to sign? Link looked at Evoca, and Evoca stretched out her hand to demonstrate that he was going to play the leading role. You are a singer with potential. We want to train you. Naturally, we will not have only one album. My plan is more than 5. Lana was a little strange. She said more than 5 albums at a time. This decision was too much. If her album sold well, after it was released, it would be good. If the album was unsellable, the company would lose money. But there was a contract, and the company could not give up on her. She needed to continue to cooperate until 5 records were produced. Link proposed a 5-album agreement, which was very optimistic about her, and would be deeply bound to her. Lana looked at him, a little embarrassed. She had sung in front of Link several times before, but Link showed no interest. She also secretly complained that Link was blind and didn't know how to appreciate. The contract came to her. She decided to take back her previous words. Link's appreciation of music was very high. He was definitely a musical genius. Mr. Baker, thank you for your confidence in me. I'm willing to join Link Music. Lana smiled. Welcome, Link. Mr. Baker, I have a request. Can you please be the producer of my 5 albums? Lana asked. Link raised his eyebrows. This request was too difficult for him. When a music producer needs to train singers, co-soundtrack, reverb, electronics sound, and various musical instruments, he must dabble in pop, rock, blues, rap and other types of music, just like an all-round co-musician. Mr. Green Goodall, who played in a band and worked at Sony Music for 12 years, has a very high professional knowledge reserve and rich experience in music production to become a producer. But Link does not have these skills. Ms. Dre, I'm involved in many things and do not have time to participate in the album production, but I can promise you that I will participate in the creation of your album songs in the future, Link said. Lana was disappointed at first and then surprised. Link did perform a lot, which she knew, but Link's music creation ability was indeed at the peak. He had written many good songs into singles chart champion songs. With his help in writing songs, Lana felt that her path in the music industry was stable. Did you write that song just now? Outside the bar, the neon lights were brilliant. Evika walked beside him in high heels with a look in her eyes. Why, do you think I'm great? Link put his hands in his pockets with a smug smile on his face. Evika looked at the man who was slightly taller than her. He was handsome, tall, powerful, and talented. He had no shortcomings, but such a person should never be spoiled. Yes, you are great and a musical genius, so I plan to make your second work a deluxe version, and you will write the rest of the songs. This should be no problem for a creative genius, right? Ivica asked lightly. Deluxe edition? Is it necessary? Link said with an embarrassed look. The standard edition of the record has more than 10 songs, and the deluxe edition has more than 20 songs, and the price is also more expensive, but asking him to write more than 10 songs is too difficult. I believe you can do it, if you have the ability, right? Ivica stopped and looked at him with blue-gray eyes. Link looked at her, and shook his head, and looked at the street lamp. Yes, I'm too busy, and don't have so much time to write songs. Time is infringed. You said that you would do math problems in the lounge before the game with Tyson. Why can't you write songs? An inexplicable smile flashed in Ivica's eyes. Link's mouth twitched. Last time on The View show, he said that he would take time to study before the game. He was just joking, but now Ivica used it to turn the tables on him. Then it's settled. Seeing his gloomy face, Ivica felt inexplicably happy. She said goodbye, carried her shoulder bag, and walked towards the car in high heels. Under the gorgeous neon lights, her peachy buttocks wrapped in a tube skirt were sexy. Hey, when will you take me to meet the singer you've chosen for the second time? After meeting Sister Lee, he felt that Evica's eyes were really good at selecting people, and the second candidate might also be a big singer in the future. Evica stopped at the back door of the car. The black car set off her tall and graceful figure, and her eyes were even more dazzling. No second one. That bastard has bad behavior and looks at people very rudely. I won't cooperate with a rude person, Evica said lightly. Link laughed dryly, spread his hands and said, why not give him a chance? Men are like this. If you put $1 million and a stunning beauty together, he will definitely look at the beauty first. This is a habit inherited from genes, and it is difficult to change. Okay, I'll give you the address. You can go and have a look. Evica said a name and address, and the still sedan disappeared in the dusk street. Link shook his head and said, this woman is too seductive. It's better to have less contact with her. Chapter 161, Punching Bag. Seeing that it was still early, Link took some time to go to the waterfall mentioned by Evoca and met the second person she recommended, a white rock singer named Orlando Nathan. He sang well and looked good, but he was thin and tired, and he looked like a drug addict. Link gave up the intention of signing the other party. The other party might be a talent, but also a very troublesome talent. He hated trouble. Ding dong. Ding dong ding dong ding dong ding dong. I'm coming. Don't ring it. He was training in the gym in the morning. There were bursts of rapid doorbell rings at the door. Just by listening to the rhythm of the doorbell, he could guess that the person who came might be Selena. He opened the door and saw the annoying Selena outside. She had loose braids and blueprints on her body. She stood on tiptoe to press the doorbell on the wall. There was an excited smile on her little face. When she saw him open the door, she pouted in disappointment. How old are you? Are you still playing such a boring game? Link asked helplessly. Selena wrinkled her nose and looked like she was pleased. Selena, I've given you the key. Can you please ring the doorbell? Catherine and Miss Mandy came from the back carrying a few bags of food. Link was often not in New York, so he left a ring for the couple and asked them to arrange someone to clean the house regularly. Selena trotted over, took a bag, and said confidently, he's a grown man at home. What if I suddenly open the door and he's not wearing any clothes? That would be so embarrassing. What are you thinking about? Miss Mandy blushed immediately. Link also shook his head in amusement, took a few bags, and invited everyone into the house. Today is the weekend, and no one has to go to work. Catherine and Miss Mandy said they would come to his house for a dinner and make some delicious food for him. Link was happy to agree. Catherine and Miss Mandy were busy cooking in the kitchen. Link was watching TV news on the sofa in the hall, and Selena was swinging her braids and walking around the house, unable to rest at all. Link saw her fans call her a little princess online, saying that she is quiet, cute, ladylike, and very likable. If her fans are like this in private, I don't know if they will turn from fans to haters. Link, do you know how to use all the equipment in the gym? Selena walked out of the gym holding delicate pink dumbbells. They were the dumbbells Taylor used for fitness, two 20-pound dumbbells. Of course. Do you want to work out? I suggest you lift the barbells and get cuts so that you can film Charlie's Angels 3 in the future, Link threatened. No. It's not good for a girl to get cuts. Don't try to fool me. Selena pressed the dumbbells to his stomach and picked up a bag of potato chips and stuffed them into her mouth. It's time to eat. Link grabbed it and put it on the counter with the dumbbells, earning a big eye roll from Selena. Selena turned on the light and switched to the MTV Music channel. The TV was playing the MV of the popular song in April. There are 10 as You Belong With Me, Britney Spears' Womanizer, Lady Gaga's Love Game, U2's Where the Streets Have No Name, George Michael's Freedom, Eminem's We Made You, and Link's two songs Despacito and Unstoppable. Link's Despacito was filmed in a Latino community in Los Angeles. The dancers involved in the filming were also Latino, and there were several hot Latino models. The dance was also choreographed by Mr. Glenn Hanks, a top Hollywood choreographer who is good at Latin dance, modern dance, and ballet. He was the choreographer of the High School Musical series. The total investment in the filming of this MV exceeded 1 million images. Just upload it later. Fans generally believe that, although the artistry of this version of the MV is higher than the original version, the video and dubbing are clearer, but it is not as interesting as the original version. There is still a big highlight missing, the hot texture of Miss Thompson. The MV was released on YouTube a week ago, and the number of views was only over 1.1 million, which is much less than the 20 million views of the original version. In comparison, the MV of Unstoppable has received more lessons. The MV tells the story of a boxer who keeps swinging his fists for his dream, and finally defeats an opponent who he thinks is impossible to defeat, and wins love. The male lead of the MV is performed by Link, and the female lead is Supermodel Dumochen Crows, a blonde beauty. Due to the high appearance of the male and female protagonists and the touching storyline, it was ranked as one of the top 10 popular MVs by MTV in April. It's too fake. Can an underground boxer have such a beautiful girlfriend? Selena, why not? Don't forget that he is a very handsome boxer, Link said. Selena blinked her big eyes, crossed one leg on the sofa, turned her head and shook his arm. Link, you told me that you are a big scumbag and have several girlfriends, but I have only seen Taylor among the others. Isn't this Doubtson Crows? Of course not Doubtson. She is Taylor's friend. Link shrugged. When filming this MV, Taylor came to the crew specially and watched the other party filming the kiss scene. That kiss scene was filmed 4 times before it passed. After returning home, Taylor teased him that it was the destination. Link shouted that he was wronged. Even if someone created it, it might not be him. After all, Taylor was watching him. How dare he? Isn't it Evika who has big breasts? Selena asked curiously. Exclamation mark. Who is that? Tell me quickly, I promise, I will never tell Taylor. Selena stared at her teeth and said seriously. Are you sure you can keep it a secret? Really? I swear, tell me quickly. Not bad, Selena shouted excitedly. Worthy of being my sister, we are both good at keeping secrets, so I won't tell you. You. Selena stared with big eyes and snorted, as if she was saying, you have pissed me off, come and comfort me. Link stretched out his finger and waved it on her forehead. Boom. Selena exploded immediately, screamed, and rushed towards him with both hands waved. Link was chewing an apple and calmly stretched out 3 fingers to press her forehead, blocking all attacks 2 feet away. Selena couldn't hit him with her punches and kicks, and she was so angry that she puffed up her fleshy cheeks while eating, like a trans puffer fish. What's the matter? Catherine looked at him with a smile. Who was talking to Lynn? He bullied me, Selena said angrily. Link smiled lightly, concentrating on the Italian food in central Manhattan, with mixed vegetable soup, grilled lobster, barbecued beef elbow, zamagran salad, minestrone macaroni, egg mince meat sauce, and ham sliced noodles, a table full of Mediterranean style. With all the colors, he had no time to talk. Link, will eating these affect your weight? Ms. Mandy asked. No, it will be digested after 2 more hours of training. Link ate the grilled lobster, and his fingers were covered with oil. Eat more if you like it. Catherine served him a bowl of clam soup. Selena twisted her thin eyebrows and looked at her mother and Catherine. I just said that Link bullied me. Didn't you ask him how he bullied me? Hurry up, don't talk so much. Ms. Mandy stuffed a piece of shrimp into her mouth. Even if Link bullies you, it's your fault. You should reflect on it instead of making a fuss here. Selena was stunned, pointing at the tip of her nose. I was bullied, and I still have to reflect on it? This happened after my own mother said it? This beef is not bad, try it. Link stuffed another piece of beef into her mouth, blocking what Selena was about to say. Selena chewed the fragrant shrimp and beef, pounced on him angrily, and decided to eat first, and then seek revenge on him, when she had the strength. Chapter 162 Little Assistant. Link's company has opened. It currently has 12 employees, including 3 agents and 5 assistants. The next step is to sign artists. Do you want to recommend anyone? At the dinner table, Catherine and Mandy chatted about the company. Last time, Link proposed to sign a company and sign several potential artists to the company for training. In the future, he can also invite actors to this company. After discussing, Catherine and Mandy thought it was a good idea. After negotiation, each of them offered 50,000 yuan. Link invested 1 million yuan and reviewed an artist cooperation company called Manhattan Island. The headquarters will be in New York first, and there will be a studio in Los Angeles. Link thought for a while and said, not yet. You sign the candidates you like first, and I will recommend them later. Okay. Ms. Mandy nodded, thought for a while and said, I talked to Gal Gadot a few days ago. She is good and has joined WME related companies. The resources next to her are still there. WME is the William Rizemo Force, one of the 5 major forces in Hollywood, and it is quite powerful. Hearing Mandy's words, Link said forget it. The Gadot mentioned at the beginning was also a casual restart. If Gadot is really signed to the company he invested in and established, and Taylor is a sharp thinker, then it is a nuisance to Taylor. Taylor is a sharp thinker, so it is better to avoid such misunderstandings. Gal Gadot? Hearing this name, Selena, who was eating salad, immediately stopped her fork and pricked up her ears. It's a pity that Mandy and Link only talked about this one sentence before ending the topic. Selena glared at him fiercely, thinking that this woman named Gail must be one of his secret lovers. Humph. Link, I have a handle on you. Let's see how you can bully me in the future. After dinner, everyone talked about Link's college. After the SAT test results came out, many famous schools in the United States sent people to invite him, including Harvard, Yale, Princeton and other top schools. Considering that he will be busy with work in the future and will not have time to travel between two places, he decided to join the sports management major of New York University nearby, mainly studying sports management, sports economics, sports law, sports communication, etc. The conditions given by New York University are also the requirements of the school. They hope that he can join the New York University swimming team and arrange a professional swimming coaching team for him to help him improve his swimming skills. There will be additional rewards for winning awards at the sports meeting. The school also stated that considering his limited time, it will flexibly arrange his courses to ensure that he can learn enough knowledge in college and graduate smoothly. In fact, Link received many invitations from universities at the beginning and thought they were interested in his celebrity status. After talking with several school representatives, I realized that they valued his swimming talent more and hoped that he could represent the school in the competition and help the school win honors. Link didn't mind knowing that he would continue to win gold medals and continue to shine in the sports meeting, which was also one of his plans. There are more benefits to representing the school than participating in the competition in the name of an individual. New York University is good. It's close to home. When you are tired of filming and holding concerts outside, you can go back to New York to rest. When you have time, go to school. When you graduate from university, you will be only 24 years old, about the same age as other college students. This arrangement is very good. Catherine smiled while drinking black tea. Link said that he would continue to study for a master's degree and a doctorate. If everything goes well, he will be a doctor at the age of 30, a world boxing champion, an Olympic champion, a singer, and a movie star before he is 3 years old. Link will definitely become the top idol in the world entertainment industry. Ms. Mandy clapped her hands and said. Link smiled lightly. These halos are indeed more numerous and dazzling. Any one of them is equivalent to a high quality human being. Selena rolled her eyes. She used to be so envious when she heard others say that her family had a tyrant brother, but now she just felt so painful. It feels that every word that Catherine and Mandy said is a hint of enlightenment, stimulating her, and maybe the next word will fall on her. Selena secretly said as expected. She forced a smile and asked, "Dear mommy, what did you call me for?" Ms. Mandy shook her head. "I don't expect much from you. Just finish college." Selena drooped her little round face and said, "Oh, it takes 4 years to finish college." During these 4 years, she has to film, record albums and hold concerts, record albums and hold concerts, and record albums and hold concerts. Going to school to study. Is this too much to ask? She saw Link across from her still laughing, and she almost got angry. New and old grudges surged in her heart. She yelled and rushed over to hug him, opened her little mouth to bite his ear, but bit something, and a strong sour taste burst in her mouth. She opened her eyes and saw Link holding a lemon with teeth marks on his hands. Wow! Exclamation mark. Selena covered her mouth, feeling aggrieved and wanting to cry. Mandy and Catherine laughed. Selena felt even more aggrieved, and Link angrily hit her a few times. Ding ling ling. It wasn't until the phone rang that Ms. Mandy asked Selena to be quiet, and Selena sat down with a pout and came back to glare at Link angrily. Ms. Mandy went to answer the phone and told Link that it was MJ's agent who called and said that MJ arrived in New York today. In order to prevent being exposed by the media, his schedule is still kept secret. MJ's agent asked Link when he would have time today or tomorrow to go to the Lincoln Center for the Arts to discuss the rehearsal of the concert. Michael Jackson? Selena didn't care about being angry and listened attentively to Mandy's words. Link, when are you going to go? Ms. Mandy asked. Link looked at his watch. It was not yet noon. I happen to be free today, so I'll go now. Mandy nodded and dialed again. After calling, he discussed the meeting time with Pastor MJ. Link, are you going to meet MJ? Selena's eyes widened. Yes. Link nodded. Selena blinked her wet eyes. Catherine, I'm a fan of MJ, a die-hard fan. I like MJ very much. You can ask Link to bring you an autograph. Catherine smiled. Selena twisted her thin eyebrows. Obviously this was not her purpose. After Link changed his clothes and came out of the dressing room, he saw Selena looking at him expectantly. He smiled gently. Anna has work on hand. I'm still short of a little assistant. Do you want to try it? Yes. Selena jumped up happily and ran to prepare to wash her face and put on makeup. What kind of cosmetics are you using? Remember to tell Taylor that it's you who used it. Got it? Selena muttered secretly. A coward. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 163 Rehearsal Scene. The Lincoln Center for the Performing Arts is located in the Upper West Side of Manhattan, New York. It has many famous theaters, opera houses, concert halls, and outdoor concert halls. It is the largest art venue in the world. MJ's concert rehearsal place is the Greater Manhattan Opera House, which is also one of the largest performance venues in the Lincoln Center for the Performing Arts, and can accommodate more than 5,000 people. The audience for each performance of MJ's comeback concert is expected to be more than 60,000. The Opera House is obviously not enough. The real concert will be held in Madison Square, which can accommodate more than 10 people. When Link and Selena followed MJ's assistant into the Opera House, the rehearsal had already begun. There were bursts of familiar music coming from the stage. Bang bang bang. Very rhythmic. It was MJ's masterpiece Billie Jean. MJ himself was dancing the moon dance on the stage, wearing a black dress with multiple sequins, and his brother followed 10 dancers in black suits, with smooth movements, looking very cool. He scanned it, and saw the dancer who looked like Zhu Jinjiang. In addition, MJ was very flexible when dancing, and his condition was no worse than that of the dancers, and he didn't look sick at all. Link suspected that his memory was not wrong, and he had confused the time of Jobs and MJ's death. Mr. Baker, please wait here for a moment. The rehearsal will take about 10 minutes, MJ's assistant said. Okay. Link nodded, pulled Selena to stand in the audience more than 50 meters away from the stage, and looked up at the rehearsal on the stage. There were many staff members on the scene. In addition to MJ and 16 dancers on the stage, there were 300 to 400 people in charge of lighting, sound, stage design, live directors, stage art directors, bodyguards, and even more than a dozen doctors. Link looked around and found that it was a little quiet around him. He looked down at the little girl Selena beside him. She was staring with big eyes and chasing MJ on the stage. What, are you stupid? Link asked, waving his hand in front of her. You are stupid. Selena glanced at him sideways, shook his hand, and asked, is he really MJ? Not sure, maybe he is his stand-in. Big people have stand-ins. Link smiled with a hooked mouth. Are you really going to perform on the same stage with MJ? Not sure. He didn't know when MJ died, nor did he know whether the coronavirus would happen. All performances were unknown. If you perform on the same stage with MJ, what are you going to perform? Selena asked. Singing and dancing. I can do both. Are you sure? MJ is the king of pop music and a world-class dancer. His singing and dancing are both top-notch. Aren't you worried about being crushed by him if you, a boxer, perform on the same stage with him? Of course I'm not afraid. I'm also great at singing and dancing, okay? Link retorted. Selena looked him up and down, then shook her head with a pout. Link rubbed her hair unhappily. He was not very nervous about accepting MJ's invitation, but when this little girl reminded him, he was suddenly a little nervous. Selena was right. MJ was world class in singing and dancing, and could be called the king of music and a great performing artist. He was a new singer who had just entered the music scene, with average singing and dancing skills. If he performed on a world-class stage with a top-notch singer, there was a 90% chance that he would be crushed. And this kind of crushing could not be improved through hard work in a very short period of time. Simply put, it was endless power. Thinking of this, Link suddenly realized that accepting MJ's invitation was not a good idea. But don't worry, Britney also performed with MJ at Madison Square Garden when she just debuted. That performance was pretty good, and I'm sure your performance with MJ won't be too bad either. Selena seemed to see that he was. Link thought about it, and it was true. Britney Spears was only 20 years old when she performed on the same stage with MJ. Britney Spears was a girl, so how could a world boxing champion like him be afraid? It was all Selena's fault for talking nonsense and disrupting our morale. Link patted her forehead lightly. If she hadn't been so talkative, he would have broken out in a cold sweat. Selena puffed up her little round face and glared at him. Mr. West, please wait here for a moment. Someone was talking behind Link, and with a penetrating look, he saw several familiar faces. There was Kanye West with a black face, wearing a black sportswear, a fashionable black baseball cap, and a drooping face, giving people a sullen feeling. There were 3 other black men with thin faces, Lil Wayne, 50 Cent, and Usher, as well as several black rappers with big gold chains and tattoos on their arms. Dozens of people. Kanye and the others also saw him, and they couldn't help but stop looking at him provocatively. Although several people had been arguing with Link in the media for more than a month, this was the first time they stood like this in private. Hello. Link nodded to a few people, Elizabeth, and pulled Selena to continue watching the performance on the stage. Kanye West was standing in the seats next to him, with an aisle in the middle. He heard someone next to him whispering, "Do you want to go over and beat him? We have more people." Someone called him stupid. That guy's a boxing champion. The kind of person who can kill people. More people are no match for him. Someone said I brought a knife. Everyone else looked at him in shock. You came to MJ's rehearsal with a knife. Kanye West quickly looked at a few companions and asked Link with a dark face, "Why did you participate? I think our purpose should be the same. MJ also invited you to perform." Impossible. How could he invite a competitor to participate in his performance? Kanye said angrily. Competitor? Are you talking about me? Link asked with a raised eyebrow. It's you. Give me solid evidence, or I will hold a press conference after I go out and tell all the media that Kanye West is once again suspected of framing me as a racist and trying to provoke disputes. I think this will be big news again. Link snorted coldly. You. Kanye looked at him angrily. If Link held a press conference, relying on the other party's fame, this matter would definitely become hot news again, and then Link would sell more albums with this news. No. It will definitely become hot news again. He can't let him take advantage of his popularity. Okay, I take back what I said just now. You are not a racist for the time being, but you are a young singer who just debuted. What qualifications do you have to participate in MJ's concert? Kanye said impatiently. Before Link could answer, Selena snorted, smacked her lips and said, Link is not a young singer. His first album sold double platinum in the United States, and he is still leading you on the Billboard. If he is a young singer, then you are a small singer? Beautifully said. Link praised, touching Selena's pigtails. I'm telling the truth. They are a group of old singers who have debuted for many years. They rely on their large number of fans to gang up on you, a newcomer. They really don't have any shame. Selena pouted with disdain. PFFT. Kanye was almost angry to vomit blood when he heard what Selena said. What are they? A group of old singers, called. They don't even care about their faces. How can this little girl speak more harshly than Link? Lil Wayne, 50 Cent and others heard it and looked at them with dark faces and shame, cursing in their mouths as if they were performing rap. Selena stuck out her tongue at them, spread out Link's arms, and hid her face in his brother. Link smiled lightly. It's okay. In a forest, the tree that is most vulnerable to strong winds is often the tallest tree. Like me, and like MJ. We have all suffered a lot of criticism on the road to fame, but it doesn't matter. As long as we can persist and continue to do the right thing, we will become stronger and become indestructible. Selena nodded, not quite understanding. Will I be envied in the future? That's for sure. You're so pretty and cute, you can dance and perform, and most importantly, you have a very handsome brother. People predict that you will be ranked as high as France. Link joked. Selena covered her mouth and laughed, blaming him for being conceited. Kanai was sulking in Prague, but heard the brother and sister talking and laughing, and his face turned black with anger. Hey, Link Baker, you just said that you are as good as MJ. Do you deserve to be compared with MJ? 50 Cent said unreasonably. Not necessarily. Link said confidently. Haha, guys, did you hear that? This guy said he can be on par with MJ in the future. TSK, this guy is such a big mouth. What the media said is right. 50 Cent waited for the black man to get hot and cold. Link smiled indifferently and shook his head at Selena, asking her to stop talking, saying that there was no point in arguing about such things. It would only be meaningful if you did it seriously and worked hard to achieve it. Okay. Take a break. A burly man with a headset shouted from the audience. The music stopped abruptly, and the people dancing on the stage also left the stage. MJ's assistant ran to the audience, pointed at Lincoln Kanai Prague and said something. MJ, wearing fashionable sunglasses, looked over with a smile, but his face seemed a little stiff. Hi, Mike. Kanai waved, glanced at Link suddenly, and strode over. Link remembered that MJ's Thriller 25th anniversary commemorative album released last year also had the participation of singers such as Kanai and Akon. From this point of view, he was the only one who was not familiar with MJ. But he didn't care. People like MJ who are close to greatness have different ideas from ordinary people. He invited himself and Kanai's energy in this way, probably to ease the conflict between the two sides. A very positive purpose. Chapter 164 The King of Music. Lights. It's too dark here. When Link and Selena walked over, a beam of light shone under the stage, lighting up the front row of the audience seats. Kanai and a few others were chatting with MJ in the audience, and a few people surrounded MJ, as if little fans saw their leader, with deep admiration and eagerness in their eyes. Link looked at MJ in the middle, who was tall and thin, wearing a fashionable black dome hat, a strand of curly hair hanging from his forehead, and a pair of sunglasses, just as cool as in the MV. While people were talking, he gently patted Kanai's arm with a friendly smile on his face. But his face was too pale, his facial contours were very stiff, his cheekbones were high and rainbow-like, and his face was turned inward, which was like wearing a white mask. Link felt Selena holding his hand tighter, smiled gently, put his arm around her shoulders, and walked over quickly. Good afternoon, Mr. Jackson. I'm Link Baker. This is my sister Selena Gomez. It's a great honor to see you here. MJ also looked up at him, smiled slightly, stepped out of the crowd, and extended his hand to him, saying, Link, I'm glad to see you too. I saw you and Tyson in Atlantic City. Oh. Link was a little surprised. Last time he had a match with Tyson, he went to watch it. However, he thought of the media revelation in May last year, saying that MJ had disguised himself and appeared in the MGM Grand Hotel in Las Vegas, watching the Ultimate Fighting Warehouse in the crowd. And he often disguised himself as an ordinary person to go shopping in supermarkets and go to CD stores and restaurants in Beverly Hills to shop. It is not impossible for him to come to Atlantic City to watch the match between him and Tyson. It is equivalent to the other party being a superstar, and there is no need to lie to a small star. Mr. Jackson, what do you think of my boxing? Link smiled. Call me Mike. MJ smiled gently and greeted the nervous Selena and said, Link, you are definitely the best boxer in the world, and what's more precious is that you are only 21 years old, which is so cool. Link smiled lightly and thanked him humbly. Mike, he is not that good. If Tyson was not younger, this guy would definitely not be Tyson's opponent. Lil Wayne said unhappily. MJ patted his shoulder and said, I called Tyson and asked him. He is 10 years younger and can only tie with Link. Link, a super middleweight boxer, can beat Tyson, a heavyweight. This is the real strength and no one can deny it. While several people were talking, MJ's doctors and nurses rushed over, asked him to rest, and helped him check his body. In 1999, MJ suffered a serious stage accident and fell from a 50-foot high bridge, resulting in severe injuries to his waist, back and other parts. He needed injections to relieve the pain, which also led to his drug addiction and his body becoming weaker and weaker. He also has severe vitiligo and family inherited lupus erythematosus and other diseases. These diseases and old injuries always bother him and seriously affect his performance on stage. This also leads to the need for him to bring a medical team with him during rehearsals and performances. MJ apologized to several people, sat on a massage chair, and was examined by doctors and nurses. Looking at the thin MJ, Link once again realized the profound meaning of if you want to wear the crown, you must bear its weight. He debuted in the 1960s, became popular all over the world in the 1970s, became a world-class superstar in the 1980s, and became a superstar of dance in the world entertainment industry in the 1990s. He is also an artist, a great philanthropist, a pacifist, a communicator, and so on. The more you do, the more doubts you receive. In 1984, when he was shooting a Pepsi commercial, an accident caused his hair to catch fire, and his scalp were severely burned. After several skin grafting operations, coupled with the influence of the white wind, his skin gradually became white. Since then, there have been a lot of news about his skin whitening in the media. In 1993, when the Kang Tong case first broke out, he was attacked and abused by a large number of public opinions, and was investigated criminally, and was almost thrown into prison. Afterwards, he appeared in court many times to defend himself, and was also found not guilty by the court many times. However, when people judge a public figure, they are used to making a presumption of guilt to achieve a certain psychological balance. That incident also became an indelible stain on him, and there are still reports of related incidents in the media until now. In order to solve these troubles, he had to temporarily retire. After the change of owner in Washington this year, the situation seems to have improved, and there will be a comeback concert now. Link associated himself with MJ's experience. If he also became an experimental superstar in the future, would he be like MJ and attack the beast media's verbal criticism? The answer is yes. Every celebrity will be burdened by fame after becoming famous, and this seems to be a behavior that all celebrities in the entertainment industry cannot compare with. The more famous he is, the more interests he is involved in, and the more people want to benefit from him, and the more obvious this behavior is. For example, MJ, the king of entertainment, has more than 1 billion fans worldwide. He has a huge influence in the United States and around the world. Every president who takes office will invite him to Washington to chat and award him various medals, using this method to pull him and his fans. MJ has become a big and invincible existence. For many people, this is not a good thing. There is a similar person, Taylor, who will become a star with great influence in the future and even be able to influence the political situation. In the process of her fame, she also encountered a lot of public opinion attacks, but she is blonde and white, so the attacks are relatively small. In addition, she did one thing very smartly, which is to publicly disclose many boyfriends, so that she became a person with a bad reputation, an imperfect idol, a target for the media to attack, and would not allow the media to have too many breakthroughs in her private life. Link thinks that, if he really becomes a world superstar in the future, he can also imitate Taylor and shape himself into an imperfect idol, which can save a lot of trouble. Mr. Baker, Mr. West, please ask Bragg to come. When MJ accepted the Weibo, the executive director of the press conference, Kenny Ortega, found Link and Kanai, and discussed the rehearsal with them. According to the plan, Link will perform 2 songs with MJ. The first is Remember the Time, which will be performed by him and MJ's compatriots on the same stage. The second is We Are the World, starring MJ, Link, Kanai, Lil, Backstreet Boys, Billy Gilman, Liza Minnelli and more than a dozen other invited singers, which are also one of the repertoires of MJ's concert, a bit similar to Unforgettable Tonight. What Link has to do is to get familiar with these 2 songs in the next month or so, and take time to come to participate in the rehearsal. The concert is expected to be held in June. Mr. Baker, is there a problem? Director Kenny Ortega, does it require dancing? If there is a dance performance, I hope the director team can notify me earlier and give me some time to practice. Link didn't want to be outdone by MJ on the stage, so he could only practice more when he had time. Director Ortega nodded and said that it was no problem. Link received the task and said goodbye to MJ. MJ asked him about the time of his next game. Link said that there would be a boxing champion challenge in New York next month. MJ didn't say no, but just said that he got it. After chatting for more than 10 minutes, 7 or 8 staff members came to talk to MJ. Link was too busy, so he took Selena and left. Chapter 165 Rapper. How do you feel? Outside the Metropolitan Opera House, Link looked into Selena's silent eyes. Ever since meeting MJ, Selena, the lark, had turned into a silent idiot and seldom spoke. Lena held his hand and blinked her big eyes. It feels strange. I didn't expect it to be so good, but I don't know how to evaluate others who are very good. Link smiled softly. It's normal. Idols are like the moon. They look beautiful. If you look closer, you can see its more real side, but you can't see that it is a giant. Selena nodded her chin, and the moon looked at him with sparkling eyes. Will you become a big star like MJ in the future? Link thought about it and shook his head. I will become a big star, but not a big star like MJ. He is very famous. No one can compare with him in ancient and modern times, but he lives too constrained. He goes out to pick up girls and is also pointed at by others. It's too boring. Relatively speaking, I hope to become a celebrity like Bill Gates. People all over the world know some of his names, but he doesn't need to bear too much pressure because of this. He lives a leisurely and comfortable life. So your goal is to become a billionaire? Yes. Link chuckled. Then I must become a billionaire in the future. Selena said with a clenched fist. You can do it. Link smiled, remembering that Selena would turn to the music industry in the future, and with a few best-selling albums and personal investments, she would also be able to earn hundreds of millions of dollars. Just thinking of the little girl next to him, who would be a billionaire in the future, Link felt that he should work harder and not let them be outdone. Link. When taking Selena to the car, there was a shout from the side. Can I? Lil Wayne, 50 Cent and more than a dozen other black people came towards them with a fierce momentum, as if in gangs of New York. Link patted Selena's shoulder, looked at Can I and asked, any questions? Link, we won't have conflicts with you anymore, but you can't take the initiative to provoke us anymore, and you can't mention me in the media. I hate people using my name to hype things up. Can I took off his sunglasses and used that gloomy black face. And the 7 black people, with well-developed arms, held their chins high, looking like they didn't care about anyone. Link saw that, after he took off his sunglasses, his face looked a bit like weight of the heat. He smiled and said, then it's settled. But I have something to tell you in advance. I wrote 2 rap songs a while ago, and I'm planning to collaborate with Eminem. I hope this won't be provocative to you. You want rap music? Can I said with a hint of surprise. Ha ha ha. This guy said he wants to play rap? That's funny. This guy dared to say he wants to play rap in front of us. The black people behind laughed loudly, and some even held their stomachs and laughed. Link smiled indifferently. Rap music is the domain of black people. People of other skin colors are considered rap idiots, except for Eminem. But there are very few geniuses like Eminem. As a new pop singer, it sounds ridiculous to dare to mention this in front of several top rap stars. He looked at Can I and asked, is it not a provocation if I look for Eminem or other rappers to collaborate with? Can I looked at him strangely and waved his hand. You are lazy. Then he took a group of black people to sit in a white extended Lincoln. When they got in the car, someone said, that kid said he wants to play rap. With the robbery, there was a burst of laughter. Some people slapped and some stamped their feet. Even Can I, whose face was full of sunken, was laughing with big white teeth. Link shrugged and felt that he had the potential to be a talk show host. Ordinary people can't make people with depression laugh when telling jokes, but he can. Link, do you really want to play rap? Of course, we can use young people to try more cross-industry and know how great our potential is. Come on. I support you. Selena shouted, waving her little fist. Link smiled lightly, started the car, and left Lincoln Center. After coming to Link Music, Link sent a cooperation invitation to Eminem Music Studio through the company's channels. At the same time, he handed over an unfinished version of Lighters to Eminem for a look. The lyrics of this rap song are positive and the melody and rhythm are great. It is also one of the classic rap songs that Link likes. Link believes that Eminem should be interested after seeing the score. Dong dong dong. Come in. Link put down his pen and rubbed his forehead. A few days ago, Evica recovered and found work, so he wrote a few more songs to add to the deluxe edition album. After he called Greem to ask about it, Greem thought that releasing a deluxe edition album would increase sales and was a good way to promote sales. He could only pat his head and think of ways to come up with a few more songs. Mizina walked in wearing a blue and grey business suit, holding a few folders in her arms, and she also looked like someone who came to issue tasks. "Boss, this is the work arrangement for this week." Anna took out a folder and put it on the table. Link looked at the folder and felt that it was like a Pandora's box. Once opened, trouble would be entangled, so he didn't want to look at it. "Is there a lot of work this week?" "Not much," Mizina said. Link opened the folder with a pen and looked through it. It was filled with a piece of paper, which was equivalent to the timetable when he was in elementary school, but the content was obviously more than the timetable. Last week, the sales of Fighter in the United States exceeded 2 million copies, and it was a double platinum record. The Recording Association of America will hold a small ceremony on Monday to certify this record, and he needs to attend. On Friday, the company will hold an inaugural cocktail party to celebrate his double platinum record, and he cannot be absent. Into the Blue 2 will be officially released on Thursday this week, and he needs to attend several premieres. This is a contract clause with the company when he took the role, and he cannot refuse. Because he is now famous enough, the film distributor hopes that he can participate in more promotional activities, so he promised to give him an advertising fee of no less than $200,000 for each show. He will report to New York University on Monday and discuss with the school about participating in the World University Games. There will be 2 advertising shoots on Tuesday and Friday. There will be 2 media interviews on Wednesday. On Saturday, Lady Gaga will invite him to dinner and talk about music, and Dino will invite him to a boxing match. On Sunday, he will also meet director Woody Allen to chat about life, and Leonardo will invite him to bowling. In addition to these temporary jobs, he also has several regular jobs. He practices boxing every day, practices songs for the second album and MJ songs in the studio, and may be called to participate in rehearsals. Link felt that this folder was much more terrifying than Pandora's box. He glanced at it quickly and found that he had no time to rest this week. "You call it not much?" Link frowned. Anna smiled and said, "I have seen Miss Evika's schedule. It is twice as much as these. She is a workaholic. I can't be." Link took over several other files and flipped through them. Except for 2 contracts that needed to be signed, the other 3 were script invitations. The first one was Twilight 2. The producer invited him to audition for the 4th male lead, a vampire, and the salary was not less than 1 million. The second one was Underground Hand, inviting him to audition for the first male lead, and the salary was quoted at 1 million. The third script, Blood and Bone, is also a boxing movie. He was invited to audition for the first male lead, and the salary was quoted at 1 million. Audition for the second male lead, the salary was not less than 500,000. Link scanned the screen and said, "Anna, don't take any more boxing movies. I've already done a boxing movie. If I keep repeating this kind of role, it won't be fresh and will leave a stereotype in the audience's mind, which is not conducive to long-term development. I'll take a look at the first script first." The Twilight series of novels is extremely popular in the United States, and it became even more popular after being made into a movie. With just one movie, Christine and the other 3 main characters became idols for young people. Playing a role in this kind of movie can also increase popularity, but with my current popularity in the entertainment industry, the fame added by playing this kind of supporting role is too little, and it doesn't have much effect. So whether to take this kind of role depends on whether I have time. Okay. Mizina nodded, put away the documents, and left the office. Link shook his head and continued to work. Chapter 166, Classical Beauty. "Mr. Baker, are you going to get off work?" In the afternoon, Link received a call from Mr. Graham and was about to go to the recording studio to practice singing. He saw a tall lady in the hallway. The other party stopped and waved at him. "Are you Lana?" Link looked at the other party and asked uncertainly. "Mr. Baker, don't you recognize me?" Lana spread her hands, shook her shoulders and smiled. Lana was wearing a dark blue skirt with a slender figure and a little skinny. She had long curly reddish brown hair. The hair was very thick and hung down like silk satin. With her cold white skin, she had the temperament of a classical beauty. Link nodded. This looked like the sister Dalae in his memory. You have changed a lot. You look very good. Thank you. Lana brushed the hair on her shoulders and smiled. I used to worship like this before, but I didn't like it very much. Oh, why? Link asked as he walked. This is a lady's dress, but I'm not a lady, and I don't want to be defined as a lady, because after becoming a lady, you have to do things in a lady's way. You can't smoke, you can't swear, you can't cross your legs, and you can't do many things. It's very awkward. I prefer to be a rock girl. Link nodded, knowing his own thoughts. This is a country that advocates freedom. Everyone pursues freedom. It is indeed very restrictive for a rock girl to play a lady. Are you ready to be a lady now? This is Evika's suggestion. She thinks that dressing like this will make it easier to attract the attention of fans and promote me and my new song. For the sake of music, I decided to be a lady for the time being. Link smiled lightly. The other party has already undertaken a contract with Link Music for 6 records. The next step is to release singles, albums, and become a singer. With her beautiful appearance, good figure, precise singing skills, distinctive bass, and good creative ability, it is not difficult to make her a star singer. Lana, you are capable and have a good image. How can your first album fail? I used to like country music, and my first album was also in country music style. However, after the album was released, the fans did not buy it, so I changed to singing rock songs. It was right to want to, but it was not, until I met you, that I knew what kind of music I was suitable for. Lana looked at him with her long lips fanning. Link smiled when he heard her explanation. Country music is blue-collar music. People at the bottom of society listen to songs to relieve boredom after work. The themes are mostly sweet, positive, sunny, and warm. When singing, they also need to be sunny and warm. For example, Tena's voice is very suitable. Lana's voice is very depressed. The more you listen to her singing country music, the more depressed you feel. Listening to her songs is making things difficult for yourself. Of course, no fans are willing to buy her albums. As for rock music, she said she wanted to be a rock girl, but her temperament and image are that of a lady, and she doesn't have the hysterical taste of a rock singer. She wants to gain a foothold in the rock field of the crowd, and her hearing is greater. The previous failures were failures in route and positioning. And the song Young and Beautiful written by Link is not only a song, but also a road, a direction. In a way, he is Lana's guide in music. They walked and talked in a similar way, and came to the recording studio together. After the album was released in March, Evika took out a sum of money to buy a recording studio in the metropolitan music city. There are 4 recording studios, all of which are strictly configured from the decoration design, occupancy sound absorption design, recording equipment, lighting design, and musical instruments. It costs more than 8 million scenes. In terms of spending, Evika is professional. She can buy the best things in the shortest time at the right price. In Link's opinion, this is also an enviable ability. Okay, Lana, suppress your voice a little more, which will make your voice richer and more tense. In Link Music's number 2 recording studio, Lana was standing in front of the microphone, singing the song Young and Beautiful. Producers such as Mr. Grimm and Mr. David Kahn were all there. Mr. David Kahn was in his 40s, and was one of the music producers who jumped over from Universal Music last year. He used to help Mr. Grimm, and was responsible for issues such as the soundtrack for Link's album. After Lana Del Rey joins Link Music, he will be responsible for producing Lana's singles and albums. David Kahn stood outside the glass of the tomb, adjusting the mix and frequency on the mixing console, and occasionally making suggestions for revisions through a hairdryer. Link was listening loudly with headphones on. Lana's voice was low and lazy, with a hint of decadence and sadness. Although it sounded very depressing and distracting, it was indeed very nice to listen to, and this was also its feature. Grimm, Lana has great potential. You producers should discuss it, and come up with a specific development plan. Link asked. Okay. Graham thought for a moment and said, Link, in your first 2 albums, there are 2 songs that need to be mixed in with female duets. One of them can be replaced by Lana. She has the ability to sing that song. We plan to release this single first next month, to see the market reaction. If the fans' feedback is good, we will consider her first album. Link nodded thoughtfully. Lana's development path is different from his own. She is a pure newcomer and is not well known in the entertainment industry. For a new singer like her to gain a foothold in the music industry, she must have strong personal strength. If she encounters a good song, she must be able to target the market trend and have a record company with strong publicity and distribution capabilities. In terms of distribution capabilities, Link music can only be said to be average, but Lana's strength itself, and the songs are not bad. The only thing that needs to be considered now is the market trend, or luck. This has a sense of age. When it is released, you can contact Hollywood film companies to see if there are any suitable theme songs. Link thought of this song as the theme song of The Great Gatsby, but the movie will not be released for a few years, so there is no way to use this movie to gain fame for the time being. However, Hollywood shoots some period dramas every year, and if you look carefully, you may be able to find a suitable one. A song with the support of a movie will go viral faster, and the company can save some publicity costs. Just like Give Me Reasons, after Transformers 2 is released, this single will definitely have the hope of being on the billboards of many countries. After chatting for a while, Link and Mr. Graham came to Studio One and began recording Give Me Reasons and practiced the second song, as well as 2 songs by MJ. On Monday, Link went to the New York branch of the Recording Industry Association of America, RIAA, to receive a symbolic platinum record. According to RIAA regulations, a record with sales of more than 500,000 copies in the United States is a gold record, 1 million copies is a platinum record, and 10 million copies is a diamond record. Certified records are also a means of publicity, and Link was happy to participate. After the record certification, he immediately went to the Stern School of Business at New York University and talked to Mr. Pilagu Sundaram about the course schedule and the sports meeting. The 25th Summer University Games will be held in the swimming competition in Eastern Europe in mid-May, which will last for 15 days. Link said that he could participate in all swimming events. Mr. Sundaram welcomed it, but in order to be fair, he would first participate in the school's sports meeting before signing up for the competition. He needed to gain an advantage before he could represent the school. Link said that it was no problem, but there would be one more job on his schedule. Chapter 167 Movie Release. On Wednesday, Billboard magazine will interview you. Exclusive interview with Vanity Fair reporter. Swish. The braided colored pens wiped across the form, leaving a bright red cross. Link smiled gently. The joy of Candy Crush was probably only understood by a busy man like himself. He straightened his tie in front of the mirror, put on sunglasses, and left the apartment. At noon, a silver Porsche business car was standing on the vertical staircase in front of Yorkville apartment. Seeing Link coming out, the driver Bob got out and opened the door. After Link got in the car, he drove to the Metropolitan Cinema. Let's talk about new songs and ask when you are free, Assistant Anna said. Link pinched his forehead. There is an award ceremony and a company cocktail party tomorrow, and he will not be free the day after tomorrow. Ask Eminem if he has time this weekend. Okay. Half an hour later, the car arrived at the Metropolitan Cinema, where the premiere ceremony of Into the Blue 2 was held today. The film was produced by Columbia Pictures, with a budget of less than $12 million. After all, it was a small production that was not taken seriously. Just as Link's album was selling well, and his popularity was rising, the film company directly promoted the title of Link's first film work in the promotion. In the trailer released in March, he had the same role as the male lead, and he went from the third male lead to the leading role. On the poster of the cinema, he and the male lead were shirtless, with the female lead standing in the middle, like a love triangle. Because of his participation, the media and fans also paid great attention to this film, wanting to see how his first film was. When the car arrived in front of the cinema, thousands of spectators and fans came to the scene, and a group of media reporters were waiting on the red carpet for interviews. Several stars who were invited to attend the premiere interview ceremony. Among them were the male and female protagonists of Into the Blue 1, Paul Walker and Jessica Alba, as well as several more famous stars, Lindsay Lohan, Ashton Kutcher, etc. They were invited by the distributor to come and show their support, which was a paid job and had little to do with the film. Link pushed open the car door and got out. After waiting for a while, he saw Paul Walker driving over in a grey suit. "Hey, Link, didn't you bring your girlfriend?" Paul Walker greeted. "I didn't invite her. She's very busy at work. I'm asking other girlfriends. Are they busy?" Paul Walker smiled with his eyes squinting. "Don't talk nonsense. I'm not as fickle as you." Link patted his shoulder and pushed him onto the red carpet. The other party wore a blue suit and a grey suit. One had black hair and the other had blonde hair. They were all tall and straight and handsome. When the audience saw the other party, they burst into a lively cheer and immediately shouted the other party's name. Photographers also pressed Abraham to take pictures of the idle handsome guy walking side by side on the red carpet. "Mr. Link Baker, can I interview you?" Several reporters shouted. Link nodded and came to the red edge to be interviewed. "Mr. Baker, Into the Blue is the first movie you starred in. How did you feel during the filming? Were there any difficulties?" asked the reporter from Variety Entertainment magazine. "Yes, before filming this movie, I was a completely new actor and had not received any acting training. At the beginning of filming, I did encounter many difficulties, but director Stephen Herrick is a very capable person." "Mr. Baker, did you participate in Into the Blue just for fun, and do you plan to become a professional actor?" asked the reporter from New York Daily News. "I like movies and love acting. If there is a good script, I will consider playing more roles." Link responded. "Mr. Baker, I heard that you have entered New York University. We all know that you work a lot, boxing, music, and movies. How do you usually arrange your time for work and study? Are you worried about failing the course?" asked the reporter from American Express. Link chuckled and said, "Yes, I'm a little worried. I heard that if I fail a course, I have to take a makeup exam, which will affect my graduation. I don't want to be a joke, so when I have time, I will pay attention to going to school more often." "Mr. Baker, how is the recording of your second album going? When will it be released?" the reporter of Baltimore Sun asked. "It is being recorded. The specific release time depends on the company's arrangement." Link answered a few more questions, waved goodbye to the reporters and fans, and followed Paul Walker into the cinema. The plot of In the Deep 2 is about the first part, telling the story of a couple of divers who were hired by large animals to search for the legendary wealth lost by Columbus on the seabed. In the process of searching, they discovered the secret of their employer. It turned out that, in order to save the world and catch the mastermind, the hero and heroine fought wits and courage with the big man. In the end, with the help of the police, they caught the mastermind and also found Columbus' treasure, became rich, and lived happily together. Link plays a role of an assistant to a big shot in the play. He hires the male and female protagonists and goes to the sea with them to look for treasures, but secretly he is looking for nuclear warheads. In the original script, his role is the confidant of the big shot, who leaks the situation of the male protagonist to the big shot, and is finally caught by the police. But in the movie, he and the protagonist become friends and work together as the mastermind behind Manhattan. Link watched it once, and had to admire the skills of the film editor. They are obviously two unrelated plots, but they can be connected together by editing to express different meanings. Link, what do you think? Director Stephen Herrick asked sideways. It looks good. He has not seen the original version, but considering that the movie is not well known, he also thought it was a bad movie. I just watched it for a while, and found that the plot is more exciting than I imagined, and there are many highlights. The beauty looks very hot, and Link and several male actors are also handsome. There are also styling, fighting, explosions, and more exciting commercial films than usual. In addition, his original role was a villain, but now it has been modified into a decent one, and his role has increased by more than 10 minutes. He is not dissatisfied with it. The only thing he was not satisfied with was the salary. When he accepted the film, he was the Golden Glove TV champion, and his salary was only $100,000 per sentence. The promotional advertising fee was only $500,000 per sentence, which was not considered a small advertising endorsement. Link, you are very suitable for action movies. Moreover, among Hollywood actors, the actors who are skilled in action movies are all old, and the new actors have not grown up yet. If you want to achieve something in the film industry, you can consider being an action actor. Link nodded. Being an action actor is indeed a suitable development direction. However, he knew that Hollywood would be dominated by Marvel movies in the next 10 years. If he wanted to enter the strict action actor sequence, he could only play a superhero. Link, I can't watch it anymore. Paul Walker supported his forehead and said with an uncomfortable expression, "Are you feeling unwell?" Link asked in confusion. Paul Walker pointed to the big screen. "Look at yourself. In a few decades, you will come out naked and show your anatomy and body. If I were a woman, I could still watch it, but I'm a man. Do you think I would like such a movie? In the first movie, you showed as many nude scenes as I did." "Oh, I see. It turns out that I have a better figure than you." "Nonsense. Would I be jealous of you?" "Well, even if yours is better, my acting skills are definitely better than yours. If you don't believe me, just wait and see. Tomorrow the film critics will criticize your poor acting skills and say that you are just a vase." Paul Walker teased. Link smiled lightly and didn't want to be criticized for his poor acting skills. Let them see how bad his acting skills are first. After the fighter is released, they will be able to see how much progress they have made, and they will also know how hard they have worked. His poor performance in Into the Blue 2 is actually a good thing. Chapter 168 Premiere Box Office. After the movie was over, there was a round of applause. Link saw that everyone was applauding and thought that the movie must be good. "Link, congratulations, you acted in a great movie." Actress Lindsay Lohan came over and congratulated Link with warm eyes. "Thank you." Link smiled. She was once a Hollywood A-list actress with representative works such as Mean Girls and The Natural Pattern. In recent years, due to alcoholism and drug abuse, her fame has risen rapidly. Last year, she won the Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Actress in a Leading Role for Suspect. "Hey, Link, let me introduce you." Paul Walker put his arm around a hot wheat-colored girl and said, "Jessica Alba, I think you should know her." "Of course, Ms. Alba, I'm your fan." Link shook hands with Jessica Alba, who was once one of the top actresses in Hollywood and became famous with movies such as Dark Angel, Sin City and Fantastic Four. Unfortunately, she got married 2 years ago and had a child early. "Mr. Link Baker, congratulations on starring in a good movie. I wish it a big hit." Jessica Alba smiled sweetly. "Thank you." After saying hello, Jessica left. Paul Walker put his arm around his shoulder, looked at Jessica's back and said, "How is she? Isn't she beautiful? I filmed a kissing scene with her. Are you jealous? Why didn't you ask her for help at the beginning?" "Lynn, are you crazy? I'm in the industry. If I find a girlfriend in the industry, my life will definitely be a mess." "Oh sorry, I forgot that Taylor is also in the industry, but you are different. I believe your love will last forever." Paul Walker added quickly. Link concluded, thinking that he didn't explain it better. "Let's go, I'll buy you a drink." On the first day of the release of Into the Blue 2, it received 8.85 million box office in 2,605 theaters in North America, slightly lower than the expected 10 million. The media's evaluation of this movie also criticized more than praised it, saying that it was a very rough commercial movie, the script design had great flaws, and the second male lead Link's role was significantly increased, resulting in a lot of incoherence in the plot. The quality was worse than the first one, and it was not worth recommending. On the Rotten Tomatoes movie website, the film's freshness is only 65%, with 24,127 reviews and a score of 6.7 on the IMDb website. However, many media reports say that this is a qualified summer movie, with sunshine, beaches, seaside, cruise ships, bikini beauties, action scenes and explosions. The participation of the world boxing champion and popular singer Link has made the film even more exciting, and it is worth watching. The film distributor took the opportunity to launch a third promotional video, which is mostly Link and the male and female protagonists walking on the beach in swimsuits and swimming in the sea. The picture looks very good. Judging from the film reviews on the movie website, female audiences have a higher evaluation of this film than male audiences. In the first 3 days of the film's release, it reached 16.72 million consumption in North America, and the estimated consumption is around 40 million consumption. With a production cost of 12 million and a publicity cost of 10 million, the film will not lose money, but will make some small profits. From this point of view, the film is still qualified. But most of the critics' comments on the film were quite cruel, and their comments on Link were pornographic, thinking that Link was a vase actor who just posed handsomely in front of the camera, using his handsome appearance and muscle removal as selling points, and his performance was not good. The Hollywood Reporter commented that Link was talented in boxing and music, but had almost no talent in acting, and advised him to spend more time on boxing and music, and not to focus on other fields. Mr. Baker, you are not an all-round Superman, and it is impossible for you to be so good in every field. In the review, the New Yorker magazine directly called Link back to class, advising him not to waste time in the entertainment industry, and be careful not to fail. Look at these, I'm a new actor, but they want me to show the acting skills of an Oscar winner. The requirements for me are too high, Link said while posting newspapers in a cafe on 6th Avenue in the Warehouse District. Link, don't pay attention to those comments. You are a star. Only by criticizing you can the media cause controversy and attract readers' attention. If it is a news that praises you, how many people do you think will buy their news? Wu Link nodded, thinking that his words were right. First praise and then demote is the habitual routine of media hype, and there is no need to pay too much attention to it. Director Allen, then please give a detailed evaluation of my performance in Into the Blue. Maybe you have a chance to win a movie award. Director Woody Allen praised with a thumbs up. Really? Yes, I think you have a chance. 2009 Golden Raspberry Award for Best Actor. Director Woody Allen burst into laughter. He laughed so hard that his eyes fell here. He hurriedly took off his glasses, put them back on, and continued to laugh. Link looked at the old man in his 70s with a dark face. He was going around in circles, just to make fun of himself. It was too tasteless. Haha, just kidding. Don't take it seriously, but you do have a great chance of being nominated for the Golden Raspberry Award this year. Director Woody Allen laughed. Link thought, and stirred the coffee cup with a spoon. The Golden Raspberry Award is not bad either. If you dare to give it to me, I will go to get it. To win the Golden Raspberry Award, in addition to having bad acting skills, you must also be famous enough. Reagan, Stallone, Madonna, Thompson, Brooke Shields, Marlon Brando, Halle Berry, Sandra Bullock and others have all won it. Good mentality. Then let's get to the point. This is my new point of view. Take a look. Woody Allen proposed an estimate and pushed it over. Link opened the story and saw a familiar name, Midnight in Paris, which is the sister of Midnight in Paris. It tells the story of an American writer with a dream who accompanied his fiancée and family to Paris for a trip and accidentally traveled to Paris. He met celebrities such as Hemingway, Picasso, and a limo, saw the customs of Paris in history, and finally found the past story of true love. The script was not long, with only more than 8,000 words in total. He read the whole script in half an hour, as if he had read it all and understood it. Director Allen, why isn't it the story of the boxer you mentioned? Link asked, putting down his appearance. Director Allen smoked a cigarette, posing with his hands, and said, the script is still being designed. I wrote about a top baseball player who accidentally killed an alien at the peak of his career, and was sentenced to 3 years in prison. After he was released from prison, he became an ordinary person and tried to find his true self in ordinary life, and to find his true self and become a strong lover in life again. Although the script has been designed, you are too young and your acting skills are too poor. You can't act deeply now, so I decided to shoot this play first and wait a few years for the movie. It sounds good, but is it suitable for a boxer like me to play a writer? Link hesitated. Director Allen glanced at him and smiled. Is it appropriate to find a writer to play a writer? A good director will use the plot to construct the identity of the protagonist, and a good actor will also try his best to get into the role during the performance, so it's not a big problem for a boxer to play a writer. In addition, you are a singer-songwriter and a writer. Link listened and felt that it made sense. When will the filming start? Don't worry, it's still in preparation. Filming is not an easy thing. You need to raise investment, make a budget, build a studio, props, cast, etc. Do you think you can start filming with a script? Director Alan shook his head and said, I'm just showing it to you. I want you to read more books and get into the role as soon as possible. Link didn't know much about this, so he didn't comment. He talked to director Alan about the scene again and mentioned that he also had a film company. If investment was needed, his film company could get involved. A young man and a woman came over and greeted director Woody Allen. Link Carter took a quick look and saw that they were all familiar faces, movie star Ryan Reynolds and his wife Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson had a ponytail, was wearing a bodysuit, and was holding shopping bags in both hands. She was probably here for shopping. She had worked with director Allen on 3 films, Match Point in 2005, Scoop in 2006, and Blackout in 2008. When she met director Allen, Scarlett Johansson was very enthusiastic and smiling. Director Allen chatted with them for a few words and introduced Link. Link also politely shook hands with them and exchanged a few words. After they said goodbye and left, director Allen looked at their backs and said gratefully, they are both good actors. Link, if you win an Oscar, you should learn from them. Shoot art films first, practice your acting skills, and then shoot commercial films. Link nodded. Although the couple both won Oscars, their acting skills are indeed good. Chapter 169 Change of Mind. After talking with Alan about the director and filming a movie, Link drove to Brooklyn to talk with Eminem about a piece of music. When driving back to the Yorkville apartment, it was already past 7 o'clock. The street lights on East 80th Street were all on, and mosquitoes were flying around. When Link parked the car on the side of the road, his body was a little nervous, but his mood was extremely relaxed. After a busy week, he finally crossed out all the work items on the form. It was really a week in Madrid. Beep. Before going upstairs, a black Mercedes drove from the southeast and stopped on the street. Hey, Link, are you back too? Leonardo, with a big backcombed hair, got out of the car, followed by a blonde. The model was too dim to be sure if it was Barafili. Originally, Leonardo had made an appointment to play senior ball today. He was busy with business and deliberately set aside some time to accompany Leonardo, but the other party suddenly broke the appointment and ran off on a date, which made him very unhappy. Leon. Bar. Link greeted. Hey, Link, Bar and I broke up. This is Annika. Leonardo glanced at him and pointed at the woman next to him. This woman was also a blonde long-legged model, but she was thinner. Sorry, I saw it wrong. Hi, Miss Annika, your hair is so beautiful. Link smiled and greeted Annika. After entering the elevator, Leonardo looked at Link and smiled. Link, why are you always alone when I see you and your female classmates are busy with work? Oh, poor Link, you have to sleep alone again tonight. Link glanced at him. Last time when we played tennis, you said your kidneys hurt. Are you okay? Leonardo's face turned black, and he frowned and said, nonsense, I have a backache. My waist was strained during surgery, not a kidney pain. Okay. Link smiled softly. The last time he asked to play tennis, they played 3 sets. Leonardo was so exhausted that he was out of breath and had a sore back. Then he never asked him to play tennis again and played bowling instead. I heard that the box office of the movie you starred in broke 1,000 in 3 days, and the reputation was also good. Congratulations. Leonardo smiled. Link shook his head. This guy knew that he was being criticized by those film critics recently, but he still mentioned the movie to his face. He was really talking about something that was not related to the topic. He wanted to fight back with the news that Leonardo's ex-girlfriend Gisele Bündchen was getting married, but before he could say anything, the elevator reached the 7th floor. Back to the apartment on the 8th floor. As soon as he opened the door, a warm light poured out of the house, and the lights in the entrance and living room were on. The vinyl record player on the counter was spinning slowly, and Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You came from the speakers. The sound was rich and beautiful, like massaging the ears. Link was stunned and shouted Taylor loudly, but no one responded. Came to the cloakroom to change clothes. There were 2 silver suitcases on the floor. They were Taylor's suitcases. She was too lazy to throw hers on the floor, and her leather shoes were not placed on the shoe rack. Honey, where are you? Here. A familiar voice came from the kitchen. Link crossed the small theater and saw Miss Taylor making matcha snacks at the counter. She had a golden ponytail, a blue tank top, and a tight little belt, which showed off her tall figure and long white legs. Link walked over, put his arms around her waist from behind, and heard the music on her body. When are you coming back? You should have called me in advance, and I would pick you up at the airport. It's a little after 3 in the afternoon. I want to give you a surprise. Taylor smiled with his butt raised. It's really a surprise. I met Leonardo when I just came back. He teased me that I would sleep alone tonight. If I had known you were here, I would have told him that you would cook at home and wait for me to come back. Link said after he finished washing up. Taylor smiled slightly, pinched a snack and said, Leonardo changes his girlfriend every year, and there is never a shortage of women around him. Do you envy him? Of course not. Hesitation on this issue is wrong. Link said without worry, although he is never short of female companions, he should be more lonely than me, because when I'm lonely, I can think of you. But who should he think of when he is lonely? Thinking that the women he loved have become someone else's wife. I think he is a little pitiful. Good answer. I'll reward you with one. Taylor smiled happily, picked up a hot egg tart and fed it to him. Link laughed and helped make snacks at the counter. Taylor is back. After that, Link's life became easier. He got up every day to exercise and went to the recording studio to practice singing. He turned down all other work and tried to make time to stay at home with Taylor. Taylor suggested writing a love song for a man and a woman. He thought this was a good idea and maybe they could release an album together. Ding ling ling. In the morning, Link was practicing the piano in the piano room when the phone rang. The caller ID showed that it was Eminem. Good morning, Eminem. Are you ready to come over to record a song? He and Eminem had a chat in a bar 2 days ago. After watching Lighters, Eminem praised it highly and agreed to work with him and be the producer of this rap song. Link, I want to apologize to you. I probably can't cooperate with you. Eminem hesitated on the other end of the phone. He was not a fast talking singer who could say 5 words a second. Oh, why? I've been working on a new album recently, and I don't have time to fuck off. Stop making excuses, Link. You know, Can I, Lil and I are friends. Some people say that you're switching to become rappers to deliberately provoke Can I and the others, so it's not convenient for me to work with you. Eminem said, I didn't mean that. Besides, the last time I talked to Can I about this, he said he wouldn't interfere with our cooperation. I know, but sorry, it's still not convenient. Okay, I get it. Link shrugged and was about to hang up the phone when Eminem said there was a man who was very suitable to be the producer of this song. That man was not from the East Coast rap gang, but was very suitable and talented, and asked him if he wanted to meet him. Link didn't know what he was interested in, but when he heard that the man was called Bruno Mars, he panicked. Bruno Mars is Brother Mars, a singer-songwriter and talented producer. He has won more than 10 Grammy Awards and has 9 song champions on the Billboard. The song Uptown Funk made him famous all over the world and became the world's top pop singer. Moreover, Brother Mars was one of the original singers of Lighters, so it seemed not bad to find him to work with. Link thanked Eminem and expressed his desire to meet Brother Mars. What's wrong? Taylor came from the piano room. Nothing's wrong. Let's continue practicing. Don't lie to me. You look unhappy. Tell me quickly. Taylor blinked his beautiful fox eyes and chased him quietly. Link shrugged and briefly talked about Eminem's regret. In order to persuade Eminem to cooperate that day, he demonstrated his dance skills in the bar and had a drink with the other party. As a result, the other party broke the appointment, which made him very disappointed. However, Eminem introduced Brother Mars to make up for his mistake. How can they do this? They agreed to reconcile, but they are targeting you behind your back. Taylor said with a cold face and very unpoor. It doesn't matter. They target me, which shows that they value me and that I'm very powerful. Yes, you are the best, so you should find a way to defeat them and don't let them be too proud. Listen to you. Link put his arm around Taylor's shoulders and continued to go back to the piano room to practice. Fuck. I hate people who break their promises the most. Are you satisfied now? In a music club in Brooklyn, Eminem threw down his phone and cursed with an unhappy look on his face. Eminem, you really can do it. We didn't ask you to reject Link. We just think Link is not a good partner and advise you to persevere. 50 Cent shouted with his hand held. Yes, Link can't rap at all. It's a complete waste of time for you to cooperate with him. T said with his arm around Eminem. Eminem shook his head. He had heard before that Link and Kanye had reached a settlement. When Link proposed a cooperation, he saw that the song was good and did not refuse. As long as he agreed to cooperate, it was obvious that people in the crowd welcomed him. Some people even said that he was a traitor and helped Link, Kanye, Lil and others. After careful consideration, Eminem chose to give up the cooperation with Link because he was a rapper with roots in the field of black music. It was not worth it to fall out with East Coast rap. Eminem, drink. I'll treat you today. Lil Wayne put down the phone and called Kanye to tell him that Eminem had rejected Link. In fact, they didn't care about Eminem and Link's cooperation at first. Link was an outsider and the possibility of success in rap music was too low. After reading that rap song, they found that its lyrics and music had been taken ahead. If Link and Eminem cooperated, this song would have a great chance to enter the Billboard singles chart. Let Link's song be on the singles chart and the rap song chart and rank ahead of their songs, which actually stepped on them. How could such a thing happen? They secretly put pressure on Eminem and persuaded him to give up. Fortunately, Eminem attached more importance to his relationship with everyone and decisively refused to cooperate with Link. As for Bruno Mars, the brown-skinned kid, Lil doesn't care. Bruno Mars was signed to Atlantic Records in 2006, but he is short and has a plain image, so he is not valued by the record company and has not released a single song. Lil doesn't think that his collaboration with Link can be comparable to Eminem. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 170 Two-Way Run. The next day, before Link arrived at the company, Anna called and said that a man named Bruno Mars came to see him. When he arrived at the company, he saw the legendary Mars in the office. He was Latino, with a brown complexion, afro, and even shorter than in the MV, about 165 centimeters, with 2 dimples on his face. Mars looked like a playful and immature man in Pumpkin's Uptown Funk, and his eyes were a little immature, like a little potato. "Good morning, Mr. Baker." Seeing him come in, Mars immediately stood up and greeted him. Link also greeted him. "Call me Link. Have you seen the score of Lighter?" "Yes, I have." "Estimate?" Mars praised. Link smiled lightly and looked at him. "I heard that you are mainly responsible for creation and music production at Atlantic Records and have 2 years of experience in this field. I want to hire you as the producer of this song. Are you willing to accept this project?" Mars was stunned for a moment and said in a unique South American voice, "Mr. Baker, you have never heard the music I made, so you dare to replace me to produce the song?" After Anna put down the coffee, Link smiled and said, "Although I don't understand you, I know Eminem. He is a very proud and even unruly person. You can get his recommendation, and there is no doubt about your strength." Mars was restrained and took out a silver Apple Music player from his pocket. "Mr. Baker, I'm happy to accept a job, but I would like to ask you to listen to my songs first. Also." Link turned on the music player and spent half an hour listening to more than 10 songs of Mars. One of them is Nothing on You, which sounds very familiar, like a hot song. "Bruno, are these all your works?" Link turned off the player and asked the other party with his head. "Yes, they are songs I wrote during my time at Atlantic Records. I have also written 6 songs for other singers. These songs have been released, including Miss Brandy Norwood's Long Distance." Brother Mars said with his hands spread out. Brandy Norwood is a famous rhythm and blues female singer. Last year, she released her 5th studio album Human, which ranked 15th on the album Top 200 list. Link had also heard that song. "All these songs are playing, especially Nothing on You, which I like best. Are these songs for your next album?" Link asked. Brother Mars moved his hair flexibly and said, "No, the company has no plans to release a record for me for the time being. They think I'm more suitable for creative and producer work." Link nodded. After listening to what he meant, he called Mr. Graham to introduce Brother Mars and hired Brother Mars to be the producer of his single, giving him a short-term employment contract. After Brother Mars left, Link thought for a moment and called Miss Ica to ask her for help. Link Music has a cooperative relationship with Atlantic Baby Records. With Miss Ica's means, it won't take much to poach an unimportant producer. "No problem, poach me if you want to." "How is the recording of Keep On Movin' going?" Ivica asked. Keep On Movin' is the name of the second work, also known as Keep Forward, with a total of 16 songs, 10 of which were composed by Link and 6 were collected from other channels. The songs in this album include Give Me Reason, Believer, Trouble I'm In, Keep On Movin', This Is Me, Rainbow, etc., which are pop and rock styles. After all, he planned to put 2 rap songs, Lighters and I'm the One, into this album. Producers Greem and David Kahn thought it was inappropriate, as there were too many styles of songs in one album, and it was a bit messy. Greem suggested releasing the 2 raps separately, or whether they failed would not affect the performance of the second album. Link thought their suggestions made sense, so he took out the 2 rap songs and prepared to let Brother Mars be responsible for producing the 2 rap songs. The first versions of the 2 special songs have been recorded, and Greem and his team are producing with the latest sound effects, which will be completed around May. "Not bad, very efficient," Ivica praised, with the tone of a female CEO. Link smiled lightly. "Of course, I have been working overtime in the recording studio every day during this period, sometimes leaving in the middle of the night. I have spent too much time and effort on this album. Remember to give me a bonus at the end of the year." "No problem." Ivica asked again, "Have you seen any news about me recently?" Link thought for a moment and smiled. "The New York Post reported that you and Eunice Jr. are dating. It is speculated that the 2 of you are preparing to get married. Is this true? What do you think?" Ivica asked lightly. Link shook his head. This guess was not very good. It turned out that according to the table, the 2 should be engaged at this time, and now there is no difficulty in confirming it. It should be false, right? You said you don't want to get married for the time being. By the way, Eunice Jr. was there at the Atlantic City cocktail party last time. If you want to get married, you can't find him. "No, it's true." Ivica snorted coldly and hung up the phone decisively. Link smiled and sent a text message to Ivica, saying that the company was in the startup phase and hoped that she could focus on work and not concentrate on love. Ivica replied that the company was going to launch his global tour after the release of the second album. Because he had good physical strength, the first global tour would not be less than 100 shows, and he had to be prepared. Link's scalp tingled when he heard this, and he remembered what he had told himself before. Never mess with this woman. How could he suddenly forget such a deadly thing? "Mr. Graham, is this the recording studio of Link Music? It looks great." Link to the music studio. Brother Mars looked at the decoration in the recording studio and added, "Yes, it has just been renovated." Greem responded perfunctorily, looking at the young people around him as he walked. According to the information, Mars is only 24 years old, has never been to college, has never attended music school, has no representative works, and has only worked at Atlantic Records for more than 2 years. Greem didn't think the other party was capable of being a producer. It's just that the other party was invited by Link, and the contract has been signed. Even if he can't be used, he must be used for practice. "Bruno, this is studio number 3. We are currently producing Lighter. You can use all the equipment in the studio. If you need help finding it yourself, you can also ask me to arrange it. All expenses will be borne by the company. If you have other needs, feel free to come to me." Greem pointed to studio number 1 next door and said, "Okay." Mars thanked Graham, and when he saw the crowd and equipment in Studio 3, he excitedly touched and looked around. These equipment were all new, mostly brand name goods. Even the inconspicuous piano in the corner was a customized Steinway, which cost more than $500,000. He couldn't help but sigh that Link Music was really rich, and the recording studio was more luxurious than that of Atlantic Records where he worked. Atlantic Records was a subsidiary of Warner Music Group. It was a large company with many signed artists and music producers. Every time they wanted to use the recording studio, they had to apply a few weeks in advance. Famous musicians can quickly get a recording studio, but musicians like him who are not famous sometimes cannot apply for 1 month. Thinking of Atlantic Records, Mars is more eager to connect with the music environment here. If he could be here, Mars thought secretly. He himself debuted as a child star at the age of 5. He has superb skills. He has attracted media attention because of his imitation of Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, and the Beatles. He also starred in a movie Honeymoon in Vegas. After graduating from high school, he went to Los Angeles alone to look for opportunities. In 2004, he signed with Motown Records. Just because he was too short and not handsome enough, he was defined as a behind-the-scenes creator and didn't even write a decent song. In 2006, after being terminated by Motown Records, he wrote 2 songs and was hired by Atlantic Records. He still worked behind the scenes, including soundtrack, songwriter, production assistant, etc. But his dream is to be a singer. During his time at Atlantic Records, he met many famous singers, including Philip Lawrence, Bob, and Eminem. His talent was gradually recognized by people, but the company still had no plan to let him debut as a singer. Discouraged. Until 2 days ago, Eminem called and said that Link was preparing to produce a rap song and needed help. He recommended him to Link, and Link agreed to let him audition. Mars was very excited to hear the news. Link is the most famous pop singer in the current music scene. His first album sold more than 2 million copies in North America and nearly 5 million copies worldwide. If he could work with him and become the producer of his new single, it would undoubtedly be a great opportunity. After getting the score of Lighters, he immediately rushed over to prepare to prevent it from being snatched away by others. The lyrics of this score are mature, and it is not difficult to produce. The only thing to consider now is how to make this song the best, so that Link is satisfied and appreciates himself, and it would be best if he can become his long-term partner. Chapter 171. This young man. When Link came to Link Music Studio, he saw Mars finishing up in the studio, and there were 2 locals, one white and one black. According to Mars, the white guy was called Philip Lawrence, and he was the technician among the 3, responsible for providing equipment, tone selection and reference, etc. The black guy Ali Levine, who had a good look, was responsible for harmony, accompaniment, etc. It was equivalent to his colleague at Atlantic Records. Because of their good relationship, the 3 of them formed a production team called the Smeezingtons. Link saw that this person was also familiar, and he had appeared in Mars's MV as his left arm and right arm. This is good. Buy one get 2 free. He decided to call Levica later and dig this small group over. Mr. Baker, there are more parts in Lighter. Do you want to try it or cooperate with other rappers? Mars asked, sitting on the sofa. Philip and Ali sat on both sides of Andrew, like 2 generals. Link smiled. He also wanted to finish the part he was speaking first, but there were too many words. A song was only 3 or 4 minutes long. He had to finish the lyrics, as long as there was a rhythm in such a short time. He couldn't finish it, and he tried several times. His tongue would get tied at the end. I was originally going to work with Eminem, but because I had a conflict with Kanai, Eminem declined. Bruno, do you have any suitable candidates? Link asked. Mars had also heard about the conflict between Link and Kanai, but he didn't plan to. He was not black. After being terminated by Motown Records, he kept a black hairstyle and tried to blend in with the group of rappers, but unfortunately he didn't succeed. The types of music he was good at were rhythm and blues, funk, soul, pop, and some rap, but he was not proficient. Mars scratched his head and thought for a while. Mr. Baker, do you know Bo B? Last year he released a single called I'll Be in the Sky, which ranked 15th on the Billboard Rap Singles chart. His rap skills are very good, and I think he is very suitable. You can ask him to give it a try. Link nodded. Mars made a phone call, and within an hour, singer Bobby Bob Jr. came to the recording studio. He was a black man in his 20s from North Carolina. He had little to do with East Coast rap. He released a single last year, and was also a new rapper. After Bobby Jr. came, recording work began in Studio 3. Link was responsible for singing the chorus of Lighters, Bobby Jr. was responsible for the lyrics, and Mars and his two assistants stood on the mixing console, responsible for mixing and sound effects. Soldiers continue to fight. Raise your lighters, light M, and point to the sky. Soldiers hold on to the battle, light your lighters, and let the flames point to the sky. I had a dream that I was the king, and I woke up, and I was still the king. I had a dream that I was the king in the dream, and after waking up, I was still the king. Mr. Baker, maybe you don't need to sing the lyrics too hard. If you pronounce the words too hard, the sound will not be smooth enough and the speed will be slow. Mars said. When they were recording a song, Lana Del Rey came to visit and saw a boy with an afro standing at the mixing desk. She asked curiously, "Hello, are you the new producer of Link Music?" Mars was holding headphones and listening to a song. Suddenly, he smelled a fragrance. He turned his head and saw that his heart was pounding. A classical beauty with long reddish brown curly hair and fair skin stood next to him, and she was taller than him. Mars scratched his curly hair. "Hello, miss." "Yes, I'm the new producer. You look really young." Lana looked him up and down and smiled. "Miss, you're not old either." "No, I mean, you're young too, younger than me," Mars explained awkwardly. Lana didn't pay attention to his colloquial language and pointed to the headset and asked, "Can I listen?" "Of course." Mars handed over his headset. Lana smiled and waved her hand, picked up an empty headset, and put it on her head. Mars saw that the other party was listening to the song and secretly slapped his head. He was very dissatisfied with his performance just now. He was incoherent and flustered, just like a little boy who had never seen a beautiful girl. It was too embarrassing. And his partners Philip and Ali also looked at him with contempt. Mars was diagnosed with a fever, rolled his eyes at the other party, pointed to the recording studio, and asked each other to concentrate. "Great, Mr. Producer, who wrote this song?" Lana put down her headphones and shouted. "It was written by Mr. Baker, and my name is Bruno Mars. You can call me Bruno." Mars said. "Does Mr. Baker write rap songs too?" "He's amazing," Lana exclaimed as she looked at Link behind the grave. "Yes, Mr. Baker is amazing." Mars shrugged, secretly envious of Link, who was tall, handsome, strong, and talented. "Mr. Mars, I'm Lana Del Rey, assigned singer of Link Music. We will all be people of Link Music in the future. Please give me more advice." Lana smiled. Elizabeth. Okay, Miss Del Rey, please give me more advice as well." Mars responded quickly. Lana smiled slightly, waved to Mars, Philip and Ali, and left Studio 3. Mars couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief when he saw her skirt hanging out of the studio. "You're so embarrassing, as if you've never seen a woman," Philip teased. "Yeah, this guy's look reminds me of when I was 13 and just fell in love. It was so childish." Ali smiled with his white teeth. "Shut up." Mars wiped the front of his face and found it was a little hot. He simply stopped talking to others and carefully instructed Link and little Bobby on the chorus. After rehearsing for more than 10 times, there were still some problems. Link and little Bobby's voices did not match. Link's voice was too bright and Bobby's voice was too hoarse. The cooperation between them was not tacit enough. Considering that this song was Link's single, he could only find a new rapper to replace little Bobby. Link also found some problems during the recording. He left the recording studio and listened to it twice with his fashionable headphones. He felt that he was not suitable for this song. "Bruno, why don't you try it?" Link suggested. The original version of this song was a collaboration between Mars and Eminem. Mars was responsible for singing the chorus and Eminem was responsible for the narration. The cooperation was very good. Considering that Mars would join Link Music in the future, it would be a good idea to give this song to him. He originally created Link Music for 2 purposes. The first is to become famous. After becoming famous, he can participate in boxing matches, receive more, and vigorously promote boxing. The second purpose is to make money, which is also Eva Kaz's purpose. After Mars joined Link Music, he became a subsidiary of the company. It is not bad to replace him to sing this song and let him become famous earlier. "Sir, you let me sing," Mars said puzzledly. Although he also wanted to sing, he is a producer now. Yes, you and Bobby are acquaintances. Fighting should be better. Link and Aquarius said. Mars looked at Bobby and nodded. The two went into the recording studio together and reopened their voices. Link listened outside with headphones. The other party was indeed better than himself in this kind of music and more suitable for this song. Philip, Ali, don't they work better together than me? Link looked at Mars' two partners. One pair nodded. This was not the first time Mars and Bobby had worked together, and the other pair had a better understanding. In addition, Mars was good at singing funk music, which was also a type of black music, with a freer and more relaxed rhythm. After Mars came out, Link found him and had a chat, asking him if he was interested in singing this song. Mr. Baker, do you want me to sing? But I'm not a singer, Mars said in surprise. Your voice is more suitable for this song than mine. Link paused and looked into the other's eyes. In addition, Bruno, I've heard the songs you created, and I can see that you are a very talented person. I'm very optimistic about you. I want to ask if you are interested in the development of Link music. Mars was stunned. Mr. Baker, do you want to hire me as a full-time producer for Link music? Not only that, there is also a singer contract. You sing very well, and I'm very grateful to you. Link said. Mars was ecstatic, scratched his afro, and asked uncertainly, is it the contract for this single? Link waved his hand. Of course it won't be just this one song. If you're willing, Link Music can sign a contract for 5 albums. I do. Mars was about to say I do, but suddenly remembered that he was still an Atlantic Records employee and had 2 years left on his contract. If he changed jobs at this time, it would be a breach of contract and he would have to pay a penalty of $500,000. He focused on the screen and said to Link, you don't have to worry about this. As long as you're willing, you can come to Link Music to work tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Baker. Mars stood up excitedly and suddenly remembered something. He pointed at the two companions outside. They were a production team. If he left, the team would be disbanded. Link smiled lightly and said that he could also buy their contracts. Thank you, Mr. Baker. Mars grabbed his hand and shook it and ran out quickly to tell the two companions the good news. Link shook and said that Mars was still too young now. He would jump for joy at a little good news. There was an opportunity for him to go out and gain experience and learn. He called Evica again and told her about Mars' situation. Evica said that it would be done within 3 days. Chapter 170 to joint suppression. Apparently, it took only 1 day instead of 3 days for Evica to send someone to get the contract of Mars and the other two from Atlantic Records, without paying a penny for breach of contract. Atlantic Records proposed that they hoped to obtain the overseas distribution rights of Link's second album in the region. Evica did not agree. Universal Records was active in the overseas distribution of Link's first album, and the two sides cooperated happily. The second album will continue to cooperate with Universal Records, and there is no plan to change partners for the time being. Evica proposed to replace Atlantic Records with the distribution rights in South America. After considering the distribution rights, Atlantic Records agreed to let Link go. Link is a popular singer, and the global sales of his first album are nearly 5 million copies. However, the sales of his second album will definitely not be bad. If he gets the distribution rights in a region, he can make real money, which is obviously more valuable than the 3 descendants who have not debuted. Atlantic Records has dozens of musicians like Mars on record, so it will not feel regretful. Bruno, Philip, Ali, welcome to join Link Music. After signing the contract, Link stretched out his hand and shook hands with Mars and the other two. Thank you, Mr. Baker. Mars shook his hand excitedly and took a quick glance at Lana Del Rey passing by the window. He suddenly realized that he really liked Link Music. This was the reason. Link also noticed the appearance of Mars. When he saw Evica passing by, he couldn't help but secretly surprised. Mars liked Miss Evica. He was very brave. After Mars joined Link Music, 2 rap songs were recorded quickly. Lighters was sung by Mars, Bob and Ari Levine. I'm the One was completed by Link and singer Wiz Khalifa. Wiz Khalifa is a friend of Snoop Dogg and belongs to the West Coast rap. After Link Music invited Snoop Dogg, the other party recommended Wiz Khalifa. Wiz debuted in 2006 and is 22 years old this year. He is tall and thin and has tattoos all over his body. His representative work is Goodbye Again. He has sung on the same stage with Broken Eyebrow and Taylor, but of course he has not appeared yet. I'm the one. Oh, 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 oh. I'm the only one. Oh, 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 oh. I'm the only one. How does it feel? In the lounge of the recording studio, Link finished playing I'm the One over and over again, looked at Greem, Mars, Wiz Khalifa and asked, out of 10, how many points do you give? 10 points. Wiz Khalifa smoked a cigarette, blew out a smoke ring and smiled. Link, you should have confidence in our cooperation. Mars nodded and said, the rhythm of this song is great. You and Wiz Greem think it's good too. Mars is better than he expected. After the production of this song, the quality is very good, no worse than the rap songs on the current singles chart. I hope you are right. I don't want to be laughed at by Kanai and others after it is released. Don't worry, they don't stand a chance. After gaining everyone's recognition, Link's first rap song I'm the One was officially launched on the Great American Digital Music Platform. At the same time, he also posted a tweet on Twitter. Rap song I'm the One, thanks to Wiz Khalifa. Not long after he posted the tweet, tens of thousands of fans came out to comment, saying that this is a great song and they look forward to him releasing a rap album. Several acquaintances of Lady Gaga left comments and liked it, congratulating him on his cross-border success. In the first week of its release, I'm a Song sold 171,000 copies on digital platforms such as Amazon Digital Music Store and iTunes Music Mall, with more than 12 million plays on online platforms, and over 100 million plays on radio stations. It immediately reached number 48 on the US Billboard Singles Chart, and number 4 on the Billboard Hip Hop/Rap Music Singles Chart. Pioneer Eminem's single We Made You, Lil Wayne and Rihanna's collaboration Live Your Life, and Drake's single Best I Ever Had. Link is a newcomer in the rap world. His first single surpassed many veteran rappers in sales and playback volume, and rushed into the top 10 of the rap chart, causing quite a stir in the music world. The media reported on this matter one after another. Billboard magazine commented that the song was able to enter the top 10 of the rap chart in the first week, mainly because the song was of high quality, and Link and Wiz's cooperation was very tacit, and it was a very suffocating rap song. When reporting this news, the New York Post said that the reason why this song I'm the One was able to enter the top 100 of the Billboard Singles Chart and the top 10 of the rap chart in the first week proved that Link had crossed over. He was not only a boxing star in the boxing world, but also had a very high popularity in the music world. The Chicago Tribune commented that the lyrics and music of this song were of very high quality, perfectly blending electronic music, pop music and rap music together, once again proving that Link had a very high talent in music creation, saying that he, Lady Gaga, Adele, and Katy Perry were the most anticipated new singers in the music world in 2008/09. Netizens jokingly called them the Three Queens and One King. However, after Link released the new song, there were also some negative comments on the internet. Some black fans jumped out to spray him, saying that he wrote the rap song I'm the One. One, who calls himself the #1 rapper, is declaring war on Kanai and other rappers. There are also black fans online calling out to regular rappers such as Kanai, Lil Wayne, 50 Cent, Eminem, Jay-Z, etc., asking for their opinions. As for the online comments, Link was busy participating in the school sports meeting and ignored them. Kanai and others did not respond publicly either. It was not until the second week that I'm the One rushed to the 23rd place of the Billboard Singles Chart and the second place of the rap chart, leaving the songs of Drake and Lil Wayne behind his younger brother. How is this possible? Link is a pop singer and he doesn't have many fans in the rap field. How could so many people listen to his new song? In a club in Brooklyn, 50 Cent looked at the Billboard magazine in his hand, a little unbelievable. Are those datas fake? Drake the Duck asked unhappily. His new song Best I Ever Had was released in March and stayed in the top 3 of the rap charts for more than 6 weeks. Just last week, his song was squeezed out of the top 3. He was in a very unhappy mood. Impossible. Billboard has existed in the music industry for more than 100 years, relying on credibility. The data they publish cannot be wrong, Lil Wayne said with a pull cue. But why is his performance so good? I've heard that song, and the quality is very average. Drake commented disdainfully. Average? I think it's pretty good. Eminem lay on the pool table and used Eminem. Don't be happy too soon. You're the first one. Be careful that he will stab you in the ass next week. Lil Wayne used the pool cue to attack Eminem in the second round. Fuck statistics. Then what are you going to do? Prevent fans from listening to his songs? Or kill him with a gun? Eminem joked. 50 Cent, Lil Wayne and others listened and answered in succession. In the 1990s, gangster rap was very popular, and its record sales were always at the forefront of all types of music at the time. But after several concert incidents in the 1990s, Tupac and Big were killed, many rappers involved in gangs were terminated by record companies, and rap music was also affected. If they dare to use such means to attack their competitors again, the careers of the entire group members will be affected. It is not appropriate to use violence against Manhattan Link. I have a good idea. Eminem leaned against the case, holding a beer and smiled. Link is a pop music singer. He crossed over to play rap, and he did well. You guys can also cross over to play pop music and crush him on the pop music charts. Lil Wayne and the others concluded decisively that pop music is not that easy. You can't play it if you want to. The competition there is more intense, and ordinary people can't gain a foothold at all, let alone the singles charts. Thinking of this, they felt that Link, that bastard, was quite amazing. A boxer switched to the music industry and was able to gain a foothold in the pop music circle in less than a year. Now he has switched to rap, and his singles can be on the Billboard. This guy's indeed quite capable. It's just impossible for them to admit that Link is amazing. How about we speed up the progress, release a few singles in advance, and squeeze Link's songs out together? 50 Cent suggested. That's a good idea. Kanye has a single scheduled to be released next month. Let's persuade him to release it in advance, Lil Wayne said, touching his chin. Everyone thought it was a good idea, so they put down their glass stems and left the club together. Eminem glanced at the empty entertainment room, cursed, and had to pick up his clothes and leave. In the third week after the release of I'm the One, Kanye released the rap single Monster in advance. Lil Wayne, Beyonce, Jay-Z, 50 Cent, P. Diddy, Sean Carter, Drake, Chris Brown, Busta Rhymes and other singers used social platforms to forward information about this single. On the day of its release, Monster was downloaded 174,000 times on major platforms, exceeding the digital downloads of I'm the One in the first week. In the first week of its release, the number of downloads exceeded 600,000, becoming the highest downloaded song in the first week of 2009. Monster also rushed into the Billboard singles chart at number 9 and ranked first on the rap song chart. Link's I'm the One ranked 22nd on the Billboard singles chart and 3rd on the rap chart. The media saw that Kanye released the single in advance and suspected that he was targeting Link, and the two sides did not reach a settlement. A reporter went to verify. Kanye's music agent said that Kanye was preparing to release a single recently and it had nothing to do with Link. And Kanye's fans saw that his new song sold more than Link and did not let I'm the One get the first place on the rap chart, which represented a huge victory and regained face for rappers. Many black fans ran to the comment section of Link's Twitter and left messages asking him to listen to Kanye's new song, saying that Kanye's new song is 100 times better than I'm the One. He said that, since his I'm the One did not get the first place, he should change his name to I'm 3, and I'm a loser. Monster was downloaded 614,000 times in the first week. Kanye is indeed the fattest. Link looked at the news in the newspaper and was somewhat envious of Kanye's popularity. He is currently only considered a quasi-first-rate singer in the music scene. There is still a huge gap between him and top stars like Link and Kanye in terms of influence and number of fans. This gap cannot be narrowed by just a few singles and albums. It also takes time to cultivate a fixed fan base. Boss, these black fans' comments are almost enough. Should we respond? Mizner asked. No. Verbal response is too weak, and it's a waste of money and not cost effective. I prefer to use actual actions to prove that I'm the best. Link shook his butt, tore off the towel on his body, and jumped into the swimming pool in his swimsuit. Chapter 173 8 Gold Medals. In the fourth week after the release of I'm the One, T released the single Dead and Gone, which was jointly recommended by rappers such as Can I, Jay-Z, and Lil Wayne. The number of downloads in the first week was 168,000, ranking third on the Billboard chart. Link's I'm the One was destroyed in the top 3 and dropped to 8th place. 50 Cent, Drake and other singles returned to the top 5. Just as the East Coast rap gang was celebrating in the recording studio, the Associated Press received a message from Serbia in Eastern Europe. The 25th Summer University Games was held in Serbia in mid-May. New York University student Link Baker represented the school in 8 swimming events of this games, including men's 100/200 meter freestyle, 100 m/200 meter breaststroke, 200 m/400 meters individual medley, 4x 200 meter freestyle relay, and 4x 100 meter medley relay. After 7 days of competition, Link won 8 championships, 8 gold medals, and broke 3 world records, 2 of which were set by the famous athlete Phelps during the 2008 Olympics. After the United States, it caused quite a stir. Major newspapers such as the New York Times, Los Angeles Times and the Washington Post forwarded the news from the Associated Press, and television news networks such as CBS, ABC, NBC and Fox followed up on the news. Due to the small scale of the World University Games, the low level of the contestants, and the lack of viewing, the public did not pay much attention to news in this regard. During the competition, almost no reporters from the mainstream media in the United States were stationed on site to interview and report. It was not until the Associated Press released news that New York University student Link Baker won 8 gold medals and broke 3 world records at the games that the mainstream media really took it seriously. First of all, Link Baker is a big celebrity, a world boxing champion, an Olympic champion in boxing, a popular singer, and also a controversial figure. Next, at the games, Link won 6 individual gold medals, 2 team gold medals, and broke 3 world records, faster than the flying fish Phelps. This result is very dazzling and very newsworthy. Celebrity plus strange things equals big news. American media rushed to report and hyped up the news that Link won 8 gold medals in the games. HBO TV also spent $2.3 million to buy the exclusive broadcasting rights of the games from the Czech organizers, mainly the 8 events that Link participated in, and officially broadcast it at 6 p.m. on May 20th. According to statistics from Nielsen Data Company, this broadcast attracted a total of 18 million to 25 million users to watch, and the celebrities were no worse than the same period last year. Through TV, the American people saw Link wearing the same sharkskin swimsuit as Phelps, swimming quickly in every movement, leaving the college athletes on the right behind. In the 2 team events, Link continued to create miracles, killing 3 crappy pearls, and helping them win a gold medal. Oh, it's amazing. Link is like a male mermaid in the water. In Los Angeles, Katy Perry beat Link on TV and shouted, "Get out of the way, Katy. You can't stand in front of the screen." Blake Lively shouted. Katy Perry shrugged and finally asked with a smile, "How do you feel about sleeping with a male mermaid?" Lively covered her face and didn't want to answer her question. "Katy, Link is Taylor's boyfriend, and Taylor is our friend. You mean you want me to call Taylor and ask him how it feels?" Lively was stunned by this idea and quickly explained, "I'm talking about my friend's boyfriend, who can't be seduced. I'm not asking you to ask Taylor that question." "Okay, I'm just kidding." Katy Perry laughed and continued to chase Link on TV. Lively shook her head and was about to ask everyone to continue playing tarot cards when she found that Kristen, Emma and others were also chasing Link on TV, obviously attracted by Link's figure. "Damn, he's faster than last time." In a swimming club in Baltimore, Phelps said while watching the swimming competition on TV, "How can a boxer like Link swim so fast? Coach, his ancestors were fishermen, and he was born to swim." Phelps said, "Very much. That's impossible. No matter how good a person's skills are, they need long-term training to break through the limits of their bodies and get faster." Bob Bowman stared at the TV for a while. His swimming skills are average, but his physique is strong. His strength, speed, and body coordination must be extremely strong. Phelps looked at the coach. "You mean, if he receives professional training, his speed can be even faster?" Bob Bowman pondered for a moment and nodded heavily. "Damn it. How can this bastard be faster than me? No, I can't lose to him." Phelps put on his goggles and jumped into the swimming pool while cursing. Coach Bob nodded. In the 2008 Olympics, Phelps won 8 gold medals and was awarded the title of sports star. He also relaxed a lot in training. In February this year, he publicly smoked marijuana, which caused a lot of controversy in the media. With such a strong opponent like Link, Phelps also took training more seriously. After the broadcast of the games, Link became very popular in America, and his popularity was higher than when he became the world boxing champion. The media discussed his swimming skills. Previously, we only heard that he swam faster than Phelps and won the gold medal with Phelps, but there was no accurate data, so many people did not believe it. Now he broke 3 world records at the University Games, proving his swimming record. Everyone is looking forward to his performance in the 2012 London Olympics to see who is stronger between him and Phelps. After many games, some media wanted to interview Link and ask him about the games. But his agent, Ms. Mandy, held a press conference and said that Link was training in seclusion to prepare for the upcoming boxing champion challenge and had no time to be interviewed for the time being. The media then remembered that on May 25th, a boxing match was being held at Madison Square Garden in New York, where WBA North American International Boxing Champion Andre Real challenged WBA World Boxing Champion Link Baker. Although Link was busy training and had no time to respond to the media, he sent a tweet on Twitter on the day the games ended. "I'm number one. 24 hours after the tweet was posted, it received 1.218 million likes and 80,000 comments. The comments were very positive. Most of them praised his swimming skills as superb, and he was the real number one. At the same time, the single "I'm the One" rose against the trend that day, with 82,000 downloads. Link Music released an MV on YouTube, which was a video of him participating in a swimming competition, using "I'm the One" as the background music. This video was played more than 2 million times in 3 days. "I'm the One" in the 5th week of the release of One, the number of user downloads reached 314,000, and it rushed to the 5th place on the Billboard singles chart and the rap songs chart, leaving behind songs by Kanye, 50 Cent, Drake and others. Billboard released news that "I'm the One" won the 1st place on the rap chart, setting a record for the score. Including Link is the first breast singer who can rush to the rap chart after releasing his first rap single. He is also the second non-African singer who won the 1st place on the rap chart with his own rap song, and the person who achieved this result in Florida rap. Billboard magazine praised Link's musical talent, saying that he is a person who is capable and dares to challenge the unknown, and the music industry needs singers like him. Other media also praised Link, saying that he is a double star with good literary and sports skills. How could this happen? Lil Wayne and others were stunned when they saw the ranking on the announcement. After Kanye and T release new songs, Link's new song has been noticed by everyone. According to the sales trend of songs, the sales are the best in the first few weeks, and as time goes by, it shows a decreasing trend. After Link's new song was suppressed, it was not surprising that it fell outside the top 20 of the rap chart. They won a big victory in this battle. But no one expected that the guy went abroad to participate in a sports meeting without a sound, and won 8 gold medals, and became a swimming star. With the help of media reports, the song became a big hit. The popularity of "I'm the One" also soared, reaching the 4th place on the Billboard singles chart, and the 1st place on the rap chart, which steadily suppressed the singles of several of them. An outsider crossed over to rap, and rushed to the table, and it was still called "I'm the One." This was undoubtedly a face-to-face output for them. Haha, what are you going to do with the song now? Eminem was lying on the sofa, looking at Kanye, Lil Wayne, 50 Cent and others with precise expressions, and teased, "Do you want to participate in the sports meeting too? If one of you can win a gold medal, you can find a chance to turn defeat into victory." Several people stared at him with dark faces. If they had that ability, they would have participated in the Olympics so long ago, and they didn't need him to say it at all. Can I? Don't be ridiculous. Don't forget that your song was also crushed by Link. You should work with us to find a solution. Lil Wayne said. No, Link and I have no conflicts, and I don't care about the ranking of this song. Besides, do you object? The reconciliation between you and Link was made by MJ. Now you are using Link to release a single and jointly suppress him. How can MJ know this? Will he be disappointed? Eminem smoked a cigarette and looked at the others with a smirk. Kanye's face darkened, and he looked even more depressed when he heard his words. Lil Wayne and the others also changed their faces. Michael is not only a superstar, but also an idol and spiritual symbol of their black singers, just like Ali. In March, after they and Link had a conflict at the Grammy Awards, Michael made a speech. People had asked about this matter and hoped that they would stop making trouble and not cause trouble to the rear. When they heard Michael's public statement, they naturally had to give face and stop letting fans make trouble. Instead, they took the initiative to apologize in the media. The last time Michael came to New York, he invited them over and met with Link. He also wanted to persuade them to reconcile. Kanye also expressed his willingness to reconcile at that time. That matter seemed to have passed. But after Link released a rap single, they saw that the single performed well, so they teamed up to release a single to suppress Link's new song, and their fans even went to scold Link. Would Michael know about this? For decades, Michael's music scene must have known their actions and knew that they had not truly reconciled with Link and knew that they were evolving him, evolving their spiritual idol. What's more embarrassing is that there are dozens of them working together, but they can't beat Link, an amateur. Thinking of this, Kanye suddenly yelled, kicked over the table, picked up a folding chair, and smashed it on the table, sofa, and wine cabinet. Eminem and others quickly got up and saw it, and noticed it. Kanye has depression. When he is depressed, his face is dark every day, as if everyone owes him a million. When he is irritable, he will get angry and smash things, and he will hit people accidentally. Kanye, don't get angry. This is not our fault. It's Link's fault. He is a pop singer, and he came to our territory to release rap songs. This is provoking us and stealing our jobs. It's not wrong for us to suppress him. Lil Wayne shouted. Yes, it's Link's fault. We are not wrong. We are just competing normally. 50 Cent and Drake also followed to persuade. Eminem raised his arms and touched his chin and said, I remember that Link notified you before releasing the rap single, and you said you didn't mind. Everyone was stunned for a moment. Link did say this in the Lincoln Center parking lot that day. He said he wanted to work with Eminem. Is this offensive? At that time, Kanye said whatever you want, and when he left, everyone was still laughing. Even Kanye was laughing. But in the end, they broke their promise. No matter from which aspect, Link is not wrong. They are the ones who are wrong. If Michael knew that Link was still suppressed after he had said hello, how would Michael look at them? Thinking of this, even Lil Wayne and 50 Cent, who were very thick-skinned, were embarrassed. Kanye became even more irritable after hearing what Eminem said, swinging his alloy baseball bat and smashing everything in the house. Eminem shook his head and was about to persuade him when he suddenly saw Kanye picking up a dark object from the overturned cabinet and yelled, fuck. Who the hell brought a gun in here? Run. Eminem shouted as he ran out. When the others saw Kanye had a gun, they also had a haircut and ran out quickly. Bang, bang, bang. Chapter 174 Punch Weight Test. Bang, bang, bang. In the boxing training ground, Link stood in front of the boxing weight tester and punched 10 punches hard at the boxing target. His face gradually darkened. Although his new song won the first place on the Billboard chart, he was not in a good mood. Just now, he used the boxing weight tester to test the weight of his punches and the average weight of his 10 punches. The right fist topped 1,610 pounds and the left fist topped 1,440 pounds. Before the match with Tyson last year, he trained in seclusion for more than 2 months, raising the maximum weight of his right fist to 1,600 pounds and the maximum weight of his left fist to 1,420 pounds. In the past 6 months, the maximum weight of his 2 fists has only increased by more than 10 pounds, and the average weight of his 2 fists has only increased by about 10 pounds. The speed of increasing the weight of his punches has been greatly reduced, which shows that he is in a state of depression. In the past 6 months, he has been busy recording music, releasing records, shooting commercials, and filming movies, and has spent much less time on training. Judging from the growth rate of his punch weight from June to December last year, if Lightning could spend more time on training, his right punch weight could be raised to more than 1,660 pounds. What a pity. What's wrong? A black face full of flesh suddenly leaned over from the side of the test machine and glanced at the screen. 1,580 pounds? How is this possible? Mario yelled. Last year in the boxing gym, your maximum punch weight was only 1,480 pounds. In just 1 year, your punch weight has increased by 100 pounds? How is this possible? Last year I didn't receive systematic boxing training and didn't understand how to exert force. Now I know, so I'm stronger, Link said calmly. But, if you gain 100 pounds a year, 1,000 pounds in 10 years, won't you become a superman in another 10 years? Mario said with envy and jealousy, staring at his little eyes. Link shook his head and said, my fist has only grown 10 pounds this year. Speaking of limitations, he suddenly thought of a question. The slower growth rate of his punch weight may not only be due to the reduction in training time, but also related to his own physical condition, affected by his own. The further he goes, the slower the improvement speed becomes, and the longer it takes. Link thought about it and decided to make a judgment after the game. After a serious period of time, the weight of the punch has increased by 10 pounds in half a year. You are still not satisfied? Mario looked at him with a crazy face, envious. He trained hard every day, and the maximum punch weight was only 1,020 pounds. If he relaxed a little, it would slide below 1,000 pounds. Like Link, while practicing boxing and doing other things, the punch weight would not only not be so, but also increase by 10 pounds. This is what many boxers dream of, but he still looks very dissatisfied, which is too hateful. I'm born with great strength, you don't have to envy me. Link shook his head, put on his boxing gloves, and went to the training area to lift the barbell. Mario waved his fist at his back, walked to the front of the fist retest, pulled out the punching target, and took a deep breath. Bang, 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 bang. 5 punches in a row. The maximum punch weight is 990 pounds. Ah. Mario clenched his fists and roared angrily. 979,899,100. Huh. In the equipment training area, Link put down the 200-pound barbell and exhaled a long breath. In 2 hours, he completed 10 sets of strength training in a row, including clean and jerk, bench press, weighted squat, etc. The cut objects on his body were swollen, hot sweat rolled on his skin, and his body seemed to be full of great strength. During the training, Franco and Simon came and told him that the compensation agreement for the Boxing Champion Challenge had been filled. In addition to the basic expenditure of $2 million, he will also receive an additional 15% ticket revenue and 10% TV broadcast revenue informally. There are 3 main parts of boxing professional competition income. The first is the basic appearance fee, which is paid by the organizer of the main boxing competition. The appearance fee varies depending on the influence and popularity of the boxer. The second part is the interruption of broadcast PPV income. Previously, the signal generator of this game, that is, HBO and Showtime, which are enough to broadcast boxing matches, can achieve 10% minus 60% PPV interruption for each game. Satellite broadcasting organizations and signal distribution organizations can get 30%. Boxers and companies participating in the competition can get 10% minus 60%. The boxer's fame increases, and the PPV split scale is obtained. The third part is peripheral income, including income from tickets, casinos, hotels, airports, passenger transport companies, advertising sponsorship, etc. The income is also different according to the influence of the boxer, and the maximum can be 50%. Although Frank is very famous in the United States, his appeal in the boxing market is still not as good as that of top boxers such as Mayweather and De La Hoya. Therefore, in the Boxing Championship Challenge, he achieved the lowest boxing ratio. To get a higher score, he needs to win a few more games and get more gold belts. Link, the 4 major organizations super middleweight championship unification match is also under discussion, and it will probably be held within the year. You should also be prepared. Franco urged. How are the 4 major organizations preparing to compete? Link asked. Franco shook his head and said with a smile, you disagree with Super 6, Super 1 plus 5, and other champions disagree. The 4 major organizations said that they will no longer participate in the competitions of several organization champions. The next competition will be negotiated by several organization companies. We are communicating with WBC champion Carl France to conduct the WBC/WBA champion merger first. Andre Ward and his company are also communicating with IBF champion Arthur Abraham. If the communication between the parties goes smoothly, the 4 major organizations' gold commander battle wealth will be realized throughout the year. Link nodded. This arrangement is the same as what he thought. It can gather the 4 major organizations' gold commanders early throughout the schedule. After sending Franco and Simon away, he came to the open space to practice skipping rope. Skipping rope can not only relax the movements and make the legs and feet more flexible, but also improve the coordination ability of hands and feet. In boxing matches, the coordination of hands and feet is very important. When the footsteps can keep up with the speed of boxing, the punching speed will be faster, the power will be stronger, and the attack route will be farther. If the footwork is not flexible enough and the follow-up speed is lower than the striking speed, the punch weight will be destroyed, and even the center of gravity will be unstable, which makes it easy to be knocked down by the opponent. After a week of closed-door training, the WBA Super Middleweight Champion Challenge began. The venue of the competition was Madison Square Garden, where Link faced Andre Riel. Andre Riel, 28 years old this year, 185 centimeters tall, arm length 190 centimeters, black, strong, and won the bronze medal in the middleweight event at the 2004 Athens Olympics. After the Olympics, he turned to professional boxing. He is the former WBF super middleweight champion and can be called the WBA Intercontinental Champion. His current record is 27 wins, 1 loss, and 21 KOs in 28 games. A heavy artillery boxer, Link studied the opponent's game video, punch weight A+, physical fitness A+, technique or speed are good at uppercuts, and has knocked down opponents with uppercuts in 16 games. In 3 games, he hit the opponent's chin, causing the opponent's jaw to bleed. Style imitates morals. Chapter 175. The game begins. Be careful when you get on stage. If you can't win, surrender. Don't let your face get hurt. In the Yorkville apartment, Taylor was adjusting his suit. Surrender? What, are you kidding? Don't you know how powerful I am? Link said, hugging her slender waist. Taylor rolled her eyes at him. Don't underestimate the enemy. Even a powerful person like Tyson can be defeated. The same goes for you. Before Catherine suggested that you give up boxing and become a singer, I think you should seriously consider it. Kayao imagined that it was impossible to give up boxing. He was only 21 years old this year. He had just started boxing. How could he start again when his goal was achieved? If he started now, all his previous life would be in vain. In addition, becoming a singer was a side job that he developed to enhance his fame, not a pursuit. He should not put the cart before the horse. Are you sure you don't want to watch the game? Today's game will be exciting. Link looked at Taylor and then at Selena, who was sitting cross-legged on the sofa and stuffing food into her mouth. No, boxing matches are the most boring. They're over after a quarter of a round. It's better to watch at home. Selena ate spicy chicken wings, her cheeks bulging. Eat slowly. No one will grab the food. Miss Mandy came out of the kitchen with a plate and put it on the long table in the small living room. Catherine and Mrs. Andrea also brought various desserts, fruits, snacks, and cold drinks, filling the table. They had discussed that if they didn't go to the scene to watch the game, they would stay at home to watch the live broadcast. So they prepared a lot of delicious food in advance, which was equivalent to celebrating Christmas. But seeing so many delicious foods, Link didn't want to go to the game. There were so many people at home, and there were delicious foods. But if he didn't go to the game, there would be nothing to watch. Yes, Link left. No one grabbed the delicious food. These are all mine. Selena was looking forward to the delicious food on the table, and her chubby little round face was full of happiness and satisfaction. Eat less, or you'll become a fat girl. What do you care? Selena rolled her eyes and pouted her shiny lips. I practice dancing every day. How can I get fat? I should be careful of you. It's written in the newspapers that you've been running around and have no time to train. Your initial strength is serious. You should be careful to be beaten into a pig's head. Catherine and Ms. Mandy also looked at him worriedly. He has indeed spent less time on boxing training in the past 6 months. It is said that once a boxer relaxes training, his strength will be destroyed, which makes them afraid to worry. Don't worry, no one can beat me. Eat slowly, I'll be back soon. Link hugged Taylor and ruffled Selena's hair. Amid Selena's protest, he strode out of the room. Mr. Link Baker, I'm a reporter from the New York Post. I have a few questions to ask you. In front of Madison Square Garden, when Link got off the business car, a large group of reporters surrounded him. 200 people, holding microphones and recorders. Outside these people, there were thousands of passengers queuing at the entrance to enter. When the Darts saw the reporters coming, they formed a human wall to block Link's security. Mr. Baker, are you confident in the security? Mr. Baker, your first rap song won the 3rd place in the rap category. How do you feel? Mr. Baker, you broke 3 world records in college sports. Will you continue to participate in the World Swimming in July? Because Link has been training in seclusion during this period, he has not made public appearances or accepted media interviews. Now the reporters have too many questions to ask him. As soon as they saw him appear, they asked countless questions. After a while, there were reporters from several large media among these people. He stopped and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, please be quiet. Due to time constraints, I can only answer 5 of your questions here. For the rest of the questions, I will hold a special press conference after the game to answer your questions." Mr. Baker, in the past 11 super middleweight matches, you have finished all the battles within 101 seconds. In this competition, will you still stick to the original tactics and finish the battle in 100 seconds? The reporter from USA Today held up the camera of the recorder. Link smiled lightly. In the WBA Boxing Championship Challenge last October, he defeated Mikkel Kessler in 100.6 seconds. After the game, the media discussed for a long time whether 100.6 seconds is 100 seconds or 101 seconds. Because the answer to this question is related to whether Link is a mouth cannon. If it is 100 seconds, it is not a mouth cannon. If it is more than 100 seconds, it is a mouth cannon. The reporter from USA Today obviously thinks he is a mouth cannon and is waiting for him to continue firing. Link said, "I originally made the 100-second agreement to motivate myself and strive to become the WBA World Champion. Now I'm the WBA World Champion and the goal has been achieved, so I can take as much time as I want to win the game. I'm free to arrange it." Mr. Baker, you said at first that you could KO all opponents of the same level within 100 seconds. Now you have given up this plan. Is it because you have neglected training, are seriously lacking in strength, and cannot achieve your original goal? The reporter from USA Today did not get the answer he wanted and continued to ask questions unwillingly. Link smiled. "Mr. Reporter, I don't want to use words to explain whether my strength has improved or decreased. I tell you, go to the competition, and I will use a wonderful game to answer your question." Mr. Baker. The reporter from the New York Post squeezed forward and said, "Congratulations on your new single last week topping the rap chart. This is an amazing achievement. Thank you. In the 3rd and 4th weeks of your release of rap singles, Kanye West and T released new songs, and East Coast rappers such as Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, and 50 Cent jointly recommended their new songs, preventing your songs from topping the rap charts. The media interpreted their behavior as a follow-up to the Grammy Awards conflict. Kanye and others released and jointly promoted new singles to suppress you. They did not intend to consider reconciliation. As one party, what would you do? It's probably like this." New York Post reporter holding a microphone. Link thought that MJ might review the game, and the closing screen said, "I was originally a kind of suppression. Suppression is bullying by the strong against the weak. I and my singles are very powerful, and my fans are also very united. I don't think anyone can suppress us, nor do I think anyone can defeat us in this way. Last week, I'm the only one won the first place on the rap chart, which proves that what I said is completely correct. Mr. Baker, after I'm the only one topped the rap chart last week, we noticed that there were many comments on the internet saying that the reason why this song topped the chart was because you won 8 gold medals in the sports meeting and your fame soared. The quality of the song is not good enough. Do you agree with this point of view? The reporters of the New York Daily News asked. Link shook his head and replied, "This kind of comment is ridiculous. When fans pay for the songs they like, they not only like the songs themselves, but also like the singer's personality, voice, life attitude, style, story, etc. These are all valuable things. We can't think that Ms. Marilyn Monroe's necklace is not a finely crafted necklace, just because it was sold at a high price at Christie's." One last question. Simon reminded, "Mr. Baker, you told the reporter from the Miami Herald that every time before the game, you set a maternal goal for yourself. Do you have a maternal goal before the game?" Link, a reporter from the American Express, nodded and said, "Yes, Andre Real is very strong and a strong opponent, so when I play against him, I will show stronger strength and make the game stronger and more exciting, and present a classic game. This is my goal." Mr. Baker, after the college games, will you participate in other sports events? Mr. Baker, amid the reluctant shouts of a group of reporters, Link waved his hand, and under the escort of bodyguards, he entered the Garden Arena to play. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.